lost track of time. Oh, a lot of people, a lot of messages already. I'll just say hello to everyone. I won't check all the messages. Let me move all this here. Um, as you can see, I'm all. My microphone is set up. However, I haven't oiled up, and it is sunny, as you see, so I need to oil up a little bit. I'm sorry about that, everyone. Oop. Okay. I really wanted to finish something before I go. What the hell did I put in my backpack? I put some of my gym stuff in my backpack. I was in a hurry and I didn't even look. Jesus Christ. The mind, how the mind works. Hello, Martin. Hey, Pia. Hey, Jake Lagatare. Nice to see you. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me oil up.
This is the Rijksmuseum, the icon.
Okay, that's it. My face, I already applied it at home because I have a different face cream that I actually got with me accidentally because it was in my gym stuff. Hey, Dream Thread, Kuka. Okay, I'm all oiled up. I think I'm good. Sorry, I'm a bit agitated because I ran from point to point and realized what time it was. Um, I'm gonna do a bit of a small exercise just to calm down a bit before this. Maybe we can all do this exercise together. Just give me 1 second. Let me put up all the signs here. Okay, I'm gonna hold this one. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a breathing exercise before we start. Um, it's cooler. It's cooler. Yeah, it is. It's like 21, 22 degrees today, which is pretty good weather. It's amazing weather to do activism. I have maybe like 2 hours available right now. Okay, a bit of breathing always helps. We're gonna do the social experiment today. We're gonna try and see if we can tell people, hey, what if an alien race all of a sudden started coming down and wanted to exploit us? Let's see what's happening then. Let's see if they think it's justifiable. But yeah. First person is vegan. Let's hope so. And everybody here, I guess most of you right now are the vegans who already have conversations in the chat, which, by the way, I fully, wholeheartedly appreciate you. Um, don't get too invested in it. If people will just come up with excuses, you can maybe even ask them, is this an excuse or is this an actual reason? Is this just to justify it, or is it actually holding you back? You know, like we need to really be. But first and foremost, be careful with yourselves. Take care of yourselves, and yes, we need to be. A lot of the times, I feel like we are tackling arguments, but maybe the arguments are just for argument's sake, and maybe we shouldn't need. Maybe we don't even need to do that. So yeah. Vegan Felix says, I'll be here for a bit since office seems quiet, says Vegan Felix. Nice, man. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, Mr. Felix. Welcome. You guys want to try a social experiment? Dog, that was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. Well, not the most awkward, but it was an awkward thing. I haven't seen awkwardness in a while. She was looking at the sign and he was trying to kiss her. And it was just awkward. All awkward. Maybe that was just me being awkward. I picked the side with the shade, with a little bit of shade. So the shade goes all the way up until here. That's it. Then there's no more shade, and I think it's gonna go away in like an hour or so. Benji says, "Good luck today. I'm having a nap." Okay, Benji. Hey, Kathy. Nice to see you here. Tone. Oh look, imagine seeing you here, Felix. You guys want to try a social experiment?
They just make everything orange.
Want to try it? Just ask you some questions. That's it. People that don't support animal abuse, thumbs up. Yeah. You guys want to try a social experiment? I don't know what people are saying. There's a couple of people who've been walking by and going to say, I don't know what that means. What is that supposed to mean? Is it no thank you? Is it yes, okay? Is it difficult to say? Whatever. Overanalyzing people. Sitting here looking at the beautiful people walking by. I guess everybody's enjoying this weather. You know, it's a little bit cooler. People are just out and about walking. It is a Thursday, so I think the people that are here are mostly just tourists. But that's still pretty good. OMG, so many people. Is it a lot of people? That's not that many people. There's way more in the weekends. There's way more. You guys want to try it? Beautiful people. Yeah, Kuka, beautiful people. There's a lot of beautiful people here. You look to your left, there's the person that's gorgeous. You look to your right, there's another person that's gorgeous. You know why? Because we're all beautiful. We're beautiful on the inside. Oh, Vegan says, I'm in here in the chat. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, so many people in here. Are there so many people? Oh, they're like 46, yeah. Martin, 27 degrees. Holy crap. It's still very warm, but okay, I get it. If you say that's a lot cooler. I saw that in Spain, it reached 54 in the south of Spain. That's insane to me. That's insane temperatures. You guys want to try a social experiment? You guys want to try it? 33 in the UK yesterday. 55, says Martin. Wow, it's ridiculous indeed. Poland, Warsaw, 34. Holy crap, man. These are, and believe it or not, this is the coldest it will ever be. Well, it's not the coldest it will ever be, but it's the coldest year. It will only stand to get warmer and warmer. Not gonna be nice, is it? 21 in Germany today, huh? It's pretty good, Kuka. I'm assuming to be yesterday it was also, yesterday and the day before yesterday it was also insanely hot, as it was in most of Western Europe. What a cool bike. Oh, you mean the two people one? Yeah, it's highly impractical though. I guess it's a cool bike to ride with your kid, indeed. But I heard I heard in some articles that it's called the relationship tester. Hey, Richard Smith, it's the relationship tester, that bike, because you know, both of you sit on it, and only one of you has to take directions and one of you has to give directions, and it just kind of tests how your relationship works. If you're willing to get directions from the other person, there's people who are not willing to do that. You should hold the sign upside down, so someone will have to talk to you about your sign. I'll actually try that, vegan flag. That's a good one. Good one, thanks. I'm holding it upside down now. I like that. Very good one, Felek. You see? This is the kind of stuff you don't know, and you're just sitting here with a sign. People are like, what the hell is this guy holding a sign for? But then they see these other signs and they're like, oh, okay, he's doing a social experiment. Oh, but I see what the problem is. There's this other sign that says something about oppression. You guys want to try it? No. It's not just that nobody wants to try it so far. It's that also nobody wants to say no. Everybody's just like, But that's okay. Worst case scenario, we move away from here and we go to a place where there's even more people. Even more. Oh my God, there's way more people on that side. I don't know if there's way more, but there's more people on that side. I'm just looking around with places where I could do outreach. That's essentially what I do these days. Oh, maybe these guys will try. I see that there's two people who just stopped to talk about the Bible because there's these Bible people today, and maybe these people will stop by. But if they do stop by, they seem to be very friendly with the Bible people, so I'm sure that they will bring up the religion excuse. So let's see. Actually, I'm curious right now if they want to stop by. I'm curious if they're gonna do the religion excuse. Want to try it? It's fact, not the excuse. It is not. Nothing about religion is factual, man. That's kind of funny. Nothing about religion is factual. Nothing. It's all just. It's all rooted in belief. If it's rooted in belief, it is not factual. It's pretty simple. You have to believe it, okay? But is there evidence for it? No, but you have to believe it. Oh wow, they're actually having a long conversation there about the Bible and stuff. It is when you know God. Which God? There are like thousands of them. Hey, you want to try social experiment? Just ask you some questions, that's it. Okay. This made me so angry I had an extra piece of bacon. Well, great. Your chances of colon cancer have increased a little bit more just now. You want to try a social experiment? Can I have some of what you're having? Yeah. Subjective. It's neat on a you. No, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh, I think I know what you mean now. Subjective. It's not one, you know. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like thousands of gods. Yeah. Zeus is one of them, for example. A lot of people used to believe in Zeus. You wanna try it? A lot of people with kids. I think the people with kids, I don't really want to try it. Could also be the time, huh? Maybe it's one. Maybe people just don't want to try it at one. Okay, we'll give it 10 more minutes. If nobody stops, we're moving on. What are you doing? I'm doing a social experiment, trying to get people to have a conversation with me. And let's see if people will stop. I might just move on the other side. I see more people on the other side. I know there's no shade, but yeah. I see angels regularly. Lovely human people who care about sentient beings. That is awesome, man. people taking photos of me, but nobody's stopping. Hi. You guys want to try a social experiment? I ask you some questions. You stopped for the Bible, people. Don't want to stop for me. Hello. Okay, I think I'm gonna move on the other side. I think the problem is here. There's mostly just families because I think the entrance to the museum is for families here. So I might. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? Okay, I'm just gonna move on the other side, everybody. Give me 1 second. That's what happens. Okay. Backpack open. Signs all in one hand. Let's go. Oop. Okay, we're gonna be in the sun now, but I applied some sunscreen. I will need to put the cap on you guys. Hello.
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 You're a newcomer here?
Say it again.
You're a newcomer here?
No, I've been coming here for a while now.
Okay. What is that social experiment about, if I may ask?
I just asked people some questions, get them to think a little bit. You want to try it?
No, I have to do my work.
You have to do your work, yeah.
So, but I was just curious.
It's about animal rights mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm an animal rights activist and it's about animal rights. Try to get people to think a little bit about the animal rights.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a good. How do we call it?
Cause?
Good cause, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Thank you.
English is not so good.
That's
so-
okay, you're doing great. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. One of the people here from museum stopped by too. Think it's straight now. Okay, let me put a cap on you guys. Put a cap on you guys. And let's see, a lot more people here for sure. God damn it, the sun is it's insane. There you go. Put a cap on you and you're mine. I don't know what the hell that was. Just the song singing. Let's see. Maybe a bit too close to this restaurant thing. Jesus. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to move a little bit back. God damn it! I keep picking the wrong place. Sorry, everybody. Moving a bit back. The problem is that there's a restaurant over here, and a lot of people stop by to read the menu. We can look at the menu later and see if they have any vegan options. I'm actually curious also. Okay, we're all set up. Let's see. More people passing by. Chip starting early. Yeah, I'm starting a bit early because I have things to finish a bit later. I have to do some work. That's also why I was a bit late actually to the scheduled stream. But the scheduled stream is, yes, indeed, a little bit earlier than usual. Want to try a social experiment? You see what I mean? Like everybody's just stopping by to read the menu. Hey, you want to try it?
Hey, I'm late.
Okay. You look pale and sickly. That could just be your own bias, my friend. But thank you for judging my skin color. Thank you for telling me that I look sick because of my skin color. Oh, and because I'm tired from all the heat that's been here in Western Europe. So thank you for judging all that. That must mean that all the arguments that you have against veganism are wrong. Are right, I'm sorry, because I'm pale and sickly, therefore veganism must not work, right? Is that the argument? That's the stupid argument? That's called an ad hominem, man. And you should definitely not use ad hominems to make arguments. It's when you're attacking the person saying it instead of the message. Nice weather there. It is a pretty good weather, indeed. It is. It is. It's, luckily I applied sunscreen. But the weather is good. It's a bit hot in the sun, I won't lie. Although there is a chill breeze. You want to try a social experiment? It's insane, huh? What is it, 20 minutes? This must be a record. Is it a record? Since we've been sitting for 20 minutes and nobody stopped? If not, I have a sign of reverse psychology, but let's see. All it takes is the first person to stop on. That's always how I noticed. After the first person stops, they just keep coming in waves. I don't know what it is. I guess people just, if they don't see somebody stopping, they're like, what the hell? I'm afraid to stop. You guys want to try a social experiment? I ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit. What? You're on mushrooms. You're on mushrooms. This might be a perfect experiment then for you.
I don't want to push myself that hard.
You don't want to think a little bit? They're on mushrooms. Walking around Amsterdam on mushrooms. That's not a good idea in the most touristy area. God damn it, when it's sunny, it's so bad. That's not USA. No, of course not. There's bike lanes and people's rights are respected. That's the Netherlands. Well, meanwhile, everybody, I guess since you're all tuned in here until somebody comes, I'll just describe to you some people stopping by. There's a big family over here just walking with their whole family going to the museum. Hey, you guys want to try a social experiment? No, guys just ignoring me, walking by as if nobody talked to them. Oh no, they're coming. I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm Paddy.
Patty, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Are you
Nice
okay
to meet
to
you.
be being live for my YouTube
That's
channel?
okay, yeah.
Yeah, are you okay? If you guys want to chip in, you can come and chip in. I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what rights do you think animals deserve?
Right to shelter, food, safety.
Shelter, food, safety. Do you think they deserve the right to have autonomy? Like that means
yeah.
to decide for their own body, to decide for themselves?
No, I don't. Well, I don't really think they have the mental capacity to be able to make those decisions. And
You don't think an animal has the mental capacity to take care of themselves?
well, animals that grow up in the wild, maybe they have the capacity to do that. But
Why wouldn't the other animals have that?
well, because they're kind of raised as kind of just under human control, so I don't think they'd be able to have the ability to kind of look after themselves like that.
What do you think looking after themselves means?
When you say choices for their own body, are you saying like when they're sick or when they have a problem, how
No.
they resolve it, or?
I mean, like, okay, let me be clear. I mean, like, that they get to decide without our interference in it, right? Like, do you think animals should have the right to live free of human interference?
It's a difficult one. I'm not too sure.
Is it? Why is it difficult?
Um,
Do you think you should have the right to live without the interference of others in your life?
yeah,
Okay. And why wouldn't an animal deserve the same right?
but like let's say like I have a dog.
Yeah.
We control our dog and its actions and where it can go, where it can't go. And I wouldn't be like, oh, you're free now. You just walk out there the front door.
No, I see
Go
what you
off
mean.
and do-
But I'm assuming you are looking after their interests, right?
Yeah.
And I think there is a form of companionship there, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a different case. But what about the animals, for example, that we force into slaughterhouses? The cows, the chickens, the pigs. Do you think those animals deserve to live free of human intervention?
Well, like I from Ireland, we grew up in a country like there's more cows than people.
Yeah.
And it's purely for, and that's where a lot of our food comes from. And yeah, I probably wouldn't be against the slaughtering of those animals.
Would you be okay if we replaced all those animals with humans and did the same thing?
No, I'd have no interest in that.
What about
humans.
if they're dogs? What if we replace all the cows with dogs and did the same thing?
I haven't really thought about it. Probably wouldn't be beneficial anyway for dogs.
Wouldn't
much
be
money in
beneficial
it.
for dogs.
It wouldn't be.
Is it beneficial for cows though?
It's more economically beneficial. Yeah, you get a lot more out
For
of
the
them.
cows?
Yeah.
So wait.
Or
if
no,
we
for
found-
us.
For us,
Us
yeah.
to slaughter cows, it's a lot more economically beneficial.
But
Like
for
you-
dogs, it wouldn't be economically beneficial.
No, there's not enough meat or.
But wait
like-
a minute, but chickens still get slaughtered, right? Way more chickens get slaughtered, and chickens have less meat than a dog would.
Yeah, but they're just sold then at higher prices.
What do you
I think-
mean? Who's sold at higher prices?
Like a chicken breast and all that. Like it's still economically beneficial. It's a good market.
Does that matter?
I think in the world we live in today, you're not going to be able to go around and say, everyone, look, let's all stop. It just can't be done.
But I can look at somebody, at one
Yeah.
person, and ask them:
You can
is,
try-
it,
yeah.
is it fair to enslave an animal, to put them to these conditions, and then take their life for something that you don't need?
It's morally wrong, but I wouldn't change it personally.
So it is morally wrong, but you don't want to change it.
I wouldn't change my dietary. I wouldn't.
So does
No,
that
I'd
mean that
still
you're
eat the
acting?
same.
Does that mean that you're acting immorally when you're doing this?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that if I choose to take a cow or a chicken, no, let's say a pig is the best
Yeah.
size for this. If I take a pig, kill them, and then use them as a punching bag, is that okay?
Well, there's no benefit of it, so
Would you do that?
no,
Why not?
because I get no benefit from
Oh,
it.
you would. It's exercise. What do you mean? The benefit is exercise. You punch, right?
I guess if you look at that way, yeah. I have no interest though in it.
Why not? You get exercise. Do you not want to be healthy?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. You know, there's other ways.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I
there's
see where
other
you're coming
ways.
from.
Yeah.
There's
so,
other ways to get exercise.
yeah. So there's other ways also to eat, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what's the difference between me doing this to a pig for exercise or me doing this for a pig for optional food? Are they not both the same?
I think like it's a bit different, but like I see the analogy you're coming at.
Why is it different? What's the difference?
But like one of them's food and one of them's beating up a pig for exercise. Like you can't really compare it.
But it's optional food, isn't it? It's like dessert. It's not like something you need. It's essentially something that you just do it because you want to. Because maybe it's convenient and taste. What else is there? Right? Because you grew up doing this means that it's okay, do you think? Just because you grew up doing something means that it's okay?
I don't know. Like I enjoy it. I get benefit out of eating these products. I wouldn't change it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't really care about these animals.
I wouldn't eat it and then think. I wouldn't really deep it too much. No.
But what is the morally significant difference between a cow and a dog that justifies the difference in treatment? I can imagine you wouldn't do this to dogs. So why would you do it to cows? Like, what's that difference there?
I don't know. I think it's just a societal thing, and I grew up in that part of society. Like a lot of my family before were farmers.
And do you think it's okay to continue supporting something that you know is wrong to do?
Probably it's morally wrong, but I wouldn't change it. No.
Yeah, so let's imagine if you were born 200 years ago, there was slavery, right? Do you think you would have been one who would have said no to slavery, or you would have just continued supporting it because everybody else does it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, based on my assumptions, based on my analysis of
Yeah.
you, what you just said now, I'm assuming you would say let's continue doing it because you benefit from it, and everybody says it's okay. Even if you think that it is wrong, you still seem to think it's okay to continue doing it because you benefit from it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to do
appreciate
out
the
of this?
conversation.
What do you want to do out of this?
I sadly don't think I'll be changing my ways.
Let me just give you a card before you go.
Yeah.
Just to get educated a little bit. Scan this QR code and watch either the minion or the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Perfect.
They'll appear there. Can you promise me you'll watch one of them?
I will do.
Okay,
I
just to
appreciate
see
the
what they go
conversation.
through.
Thank
Cheers.
you, sir.
Have a good one.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
The hat fell. Sorry, everybody. Give me 1 second. I'm asking people some questions, getting them to think a little bit. You guys want to try it? Are you guys okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Absolutely. You can just do this. You're the best talker.
Hello,
Okay.
YouTube.
What's your name?
I'm Joe.
Joe, nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Pleasure.
Kave. Kave.
Cave?
Yeah.
Like the champagne thing?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Kava, yeah.
Where are you guys from?
From Sacramento.
Sacramento. Nice. Okay. How much time do you have, by the way, so that I know? Because I have a couple of social experiments.
Like 5
Few minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, okay. You don't have a lot of time. Okay, that's okay. So I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you guys think animals deserve rights?
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
What rights do they deserve?
Like, if they're owned by a human being, they deserve to be fed and taken care of properly.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Do you
Not
think?
to be hurt?
Do you think animals deserve the right to not be enslaved?
Like a horse, maybe not. You know?
Yeah.
Whatever animal, doesn't matter the species.
Enslaved, like how?
Yeah.
Enslaved means essentially using them without them getting any benefit from it, using them against their detriment, and when you can no longer use them, maybe kill them or something.
I mean, yeah, that's wrong, but
Yeah.
I think coming from America, like, we treat animals like shit. Like, they are slaves. Like,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
the ways we eat them and take care. Like, yeah, it's much worse than that.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the right to not be enslaved?
It's a tough question.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think technically, yes, they should have the right to not be enslaved.
Would-
Yeah.
Wouldn't the consequence of that be no more consumption of animal products?
Definitely on the scale that we have it now. Like, we couldn't do it, but we could probably still have meat on very special occasions.
Wouldn't that still be enslavement?
Not if they were like on some local farm and it was like different like that. But yeah, this-
Wouldn't an animal being on a local farm still be enslaved?
No.
What if they were raised on the local? I mean, like,
Like-
part of me is like, if you're taking like wild animals, and but if it's, and I mean, it still doesn't sound great, I'll admit, but if you like a farm raised
like
salmon or something,
cows.
like
cows
it's like,
are not. They're not natural. So to
no,
speak.
like
cows
livestock
come
is
from made
raised
man.
for a certain.
But they do have feelings. They do have emotions.
Sure.
They do have a subjective experience of the
So
world.
like a chicken though, like laying eggs, and we're taking the eggs and eating the eggs. Like, is that slavery?
Oh, yes, it is, because the chicken was brought into existence so that you can take their eggs. And when they no longer lay eggs, what do you think happens to them?
We eat the chicken.
Exactly. Is that not the textbook definition of slavery? To bring somebody into existence so that you can use their body, and then when their body is no longer useful to you, you discard them and use their body
So
maybe
what
in
do
a
you
different
think
way.
we should do instead? Like,
Do you
what's
think
the
we need to
alternative?
consume any
Free
animal
all
products?
chickens? Yeah. Like, I mean,
Do you think we need to consume
maybe
any
not
animal products?
need, but there's not a simple way to fix that or change that
I don't know. I'm
now.
not an expert on this, so I don't really know how to answer these questions. But
Yeah, we don't need to consume animal products. So I'm a certified nutritionist. You can look it up online. The
You look
largest
like it.
organization of dietitians and nutritionists on the planet say we don't. So the fact that we don't need to consume animal products for our health, the fact that we can be healthy and thriving on a plant-based diet, would mean that when we consume an animal product, we are being even more cruel to them, right? Because we are paying for their slavery
Right.
and exploitation. Do you think you guys could adopt a plant-based diet?
I know it'd be good for me,
You
and
know
maybe
it'd
I would
be
do
good
it for a
for
period
you.
of time, but I probably wouldn't do it for the rest
I
of
don't
my
think my
life.
entire life.
No.
So why is that? Like, let's imagine that these animals, as you said, we breed them into existence. They no longer exist, and the only animals that exist right now is dogs and cats. Would you do the same to dogs and cats so that you can eat flesh or drink milk?
I think these are very like philosophical questions
Yeah.
that aren't necessarily like realistic in any way. Like,
What do you mean? There's been several times when there's been viruses who have decimated populations of animals. So if a virus comes, by the way, these animals, because we selectively breed them, they are incredibly prone to viruses,
Right.
because if there's a virus that we may not have a antiviral medication or vaccine in time, then they will decimate the population, because they're all almost identical, because we breed them and we selectively breed them continuously. So they're not that different in general in the wild populations, in humans and in other places where individuals breed on their own. Because of the genetic mutations, sometimes some people develop immunity on their own. So this can definitely happen. So if it does happen, what would you do? Would you start consuming dogs and cats?
obviously not. When you say it like that, no, obviously not.
But I mean, in that kind of a hypothetical, like, I'd probably go plant-based if that's like the alternative.
If we came into this
Yeah,
world
like-
and it was plant-based and there was no animals, I'd be fine. But
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, like, that's not the case, and like these cultures have
But that's the reality that you live in,
prosciutto.
actually. Because the reality is you pay money to bring animals to life and kill them. These animals no longer don't exist on their own.
But me stopping is not going to change any of that.
It will change for some animals. It will change for
Change
100
for
animals
zero.
per year.
Really?
Yeah. One
Just-
individual can spare the existence, exploitation, and slaughter of 100 animals each year.
Wow. By going plant-based.
At least 100, yeah, depending on how many animal products you eat. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I
Something
support
to
your
think about.
cause. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's
Thank you for talking
worthy.
about this.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, interesting.
Yeah.
So what's
sure.
the difference between cats, dogs, and cows, chickens, pigs?
We might have to go.
Companionship. And
Companionship, but these wouldn't be companion. They would still be brought into existence only to be used as food.
I'm okay.
Nah, I'm
Thank
chilling.
you, though.
Grab the plant-based one.
That was odd timing. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Yeah,
What's the
what's
difference between the animal, like cats and dogs and other animals? It's like
Yeah,
Because cats and dogs aren't raised to be eaten.
but you can do that. You can
I mean,
raise
yeah,
them to eat.
technically you
But
could
they're
do that,
companions.
but and I guess it's mostly a societal thing. You know,
That's true. It is.
Because in some cultures they do eat cats
Well,
and dogs.
Yeah.
we're not killing them. Like, we're using their milk and their eggs and like that.
Do you not know? Do you know why cows produce milk?
Why?
For the babies.
Right. That's
What do you
why
think
all
happens to the
animals
babies?
produce milk. They get slaughtered and turned into veal.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you already figured it out. If they're male, if they're female,
Well,
sexually impregnated until they
we're
can
too
no longer get
disconnected
pregnant.
from like the slaughter of animals and from the meat that ends up in on our plates.
Yeah.
That's why people don't care.
Yeah, but that's why I'm trying to have conversations
I
with
see.
you guys.
Yeah,
I'm trying to connect you a little
We're
bit.
aware. There's good documentaries out there that
Yeah,
exist.
there are
that
good
about all
documentaries,
that
it's
stuff.
true. But because you said it's a society thing, do you think you should follow what society does, even knowing that it might be wrong? Because according to your
No.
values, it is wrong.
No. No. If I was a good person, I would probably go plant-based tomorrow. But I think the biggest problem, not necessarily like morally, like speaking that we're enslaving these animals, I think it's feeding these animals. Like, we're using so much fucking resources to feed these animals, and then
Also, yeah.
like energy loses, 90% going
A
through
lot
the
of it.
system, right? And so
Yeah.
like, we shouldn't be doing all these monocultures that are destroying the earth just to feed the animals, just to
Exactly.
get 10% of the energy that they are getting.
That's another good point. It's true.
Absolutely.
I would say it's more important that we respect also them as individuals, because you would want your rights to be respected. You wouldn't want somebody to slaughter you just because it's good for the environment or something, right? So,
I mean, there's a thing about like, I mean, I agree. Yes, animals are living organisms, and like they should not.
they're sentient, not just living organisms.
yeah.
Eating animals though is not like completely like unheard of. Obviously, like tigers kill.
I think there's
animals
also.
and-
I mean, maybe it's not.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most-
but we shouldn't take what happens in nature, because tigers also, they rape, they commit infanticide. We wouldn't do any of these, we as humans, right? We wouldn't rape somebody or commit infanticide, like kill their babies, right? So,
Yeah. You have some good points for sure. Thank you for talking.
yeah. Just one
Appreciate
thing
it.
before you go. So you said that it's a thing of society. Do you think that if you were born 200 years ago when slavery was rampant, would you have stood up to slavery, or would you have said, I know it's wrong, but everybody does it?
It's a hard hypothetical. I would like to think that I would stand up against it.
Me as well.
But you understand that based on all the answers that you replied right now, you would probably not stand up, but rather join
Maybe
them.
that's
I also
human
just
beings.
don't think it's the same.
It's not.
I don't think it's necessarily.
It's
comparable.
exactly the same thing. In fact, slaves during those times, slaves were said that they are animals, so it's okay to do this to them. they were using the same justifications. Because for us, the word animal for us somehow means inferior, but the reality is we're all animals. You're an animal, I'm an animal.
I don't think
And
it means inferior.
it for most people it does. They even use it as a slur, right? You're an animal, like as the.
In our generation, it's like you're an animal. If
But
you
it's
like,
something that you could say and
Oh,
also
that's a
you're
good
an
thing.
adult.
Huh?
It's a good thing.
I mean,
You're
good
an
thing, yeah.
animal.
I don't know.
I guess it
don't
depends on the context.
necessarily-
Yeah.
Totally.
But
Let me just give you some cards before you go, okay?
Sweet.
I don't want to hold
No,
you
you're
up.
good.
to look.
No, you're good.
So scan this QR code.
wow. That's tough.
Scan this
is
QR
the
code.
real
And,
That's so
watch
sad.
either the
What's the
minion
real
or the
art?
most important speech you'll ever hear. Promise me you'll watch one of these two?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to
thank
get
you.
informed about
How many people
all
are
of
on
the
your
things.
live right now?
160.
Hey, it's pretty good.
Thank you.
Hope
Cheers.
you guys drop a comment.
Have a good one, guys.
like, thank you.
Cheers. Did I not say it only takes a couple of people to stop by? By the way, everyone, there is a lot of direct sunlight. I'm hoping that the phone does not heat up, but it might. So if it gets disconnected, it's because the phone got heated up. Yeah, the conversations weren't that great, I think. None of them were that great. I really wanted to do the alien social experiment, but they didn't have the time, and I really wanted to have a conversation with them. I also didn't get to mention what dairy cows go through because it felt like they were in a hurry continuously. Dolphins are very intelligent, they eat fish. That's how very immoral of them. Oh, shit, I'm behind. Get into the shade if you can, says Martin. Martin, no. If I go into the shade, you saw nobody stops. So no, I want to be here. I want to speak up for animals. If I get a little bit of sun stuff, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'll survive. You want to try a social experiment? Okay, let's see. Another guy might be coming just now. He's like thinking. I'm like, all right, we're not gonna go. We're not gonna do it. Hi. You want to try the social experiment?
What's the social experiment?
I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
Okay.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
We're live.
Hola, Mexico.
Hola, Mexico.
I was gonna ask where you guys from, but you already said Mexico.
Okay, Mexican.
What's your names?
Fernando.
Fernando.
And Federico.
Federico. You guys want to come a little bit here so they
Yeah,
can
we'll-
review? Nice. Fernando and Federico. Okay. So how much time you got?
All day.
Yeah.
All day. Okay. So I'll ask you then the nice social experiment. So let's imagine that aliens come to Earth.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They're far more intelligent than us, right?
Okay.
They look at us and they're like, you guys don't even understand the quantum tunneling.
Yeah.
You have no knowledge of this, and then they start enslaving us.
Okay.
Why? Because they would get benefit from it. Enslaving, and then when they can no longer use us, they kill us and eat us.
Okay.
Would that be fair?
Not fair, because I mean we're like, it's our planet. Like
Yeah.
we like if we were those aliens like and went to another planet, that wouldn't be fair.
I mean, I
Like
feel like
reverse the roles.
Is that why it's not fair? Because it's our planet?
I mean, it's not fair because I wouldn't do it to another species. You know, like I wouldn't do that like to like a planet that's not mine.
I think it depends on the perspective.
Okay.
If you see it from us, it's not fair because we're the ones being eaten, we're the ones being
Yeah.
enslaved. But for them, they see us as a extremely low species.
Yeah, that's the same with like insects, and like you know
you can kill
see,
an insect.
but it's not like good. Like you're not like
You
oh,
don't care.
this is
You
fair.
don't care about it.
Yeah.
Most
I
of the times.
do.
Okay, it depends on the alien.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
wait. But you touched upon it. That's actually because the reason why I do the social experiment is a lot of the times to turn it around, okay, of what we do to animals.
Yeah.
Is what we do to animals okay? Is it fair?
No,
No. Are you vegan?
no.
No. Are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan.
I
No.
love meat. I love fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't an alien just say that and continue slaughtering humans?
Yes.
That's my perspective. Like,
Yeah.
it's fair because we
It's
do
fair?
that. Yeah, it's kind of fair because we do that.
It's
We
fair
can,
because we do that?
Yeah, I think.
So wait a minute. If they arrived 200 years earlier when slavery was done, it would have been fair because slavery was okay. Slavery was okay because slavery was done. Do you think something is fair because it's being done?
No.
I think no, it's not about being fair or not. It's that they have the power to do it.
So you think that if you have the power to do something, that it is fair to do whatever you want?
It's not fair, but you can do it still.
You can. No, I'm not
Uh-huh.
saying, of course, right? But do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
The right of the
Come on, that's an easy one.
no, yeah, they
No,
don't.
no.
Obviously, they don't.
No.
But here comes the problem. It's if you see it from the perspective of a human to another human, yeah, it's completely unfair. But to a bug, to something, you can own pets, you can own anything. And if you put this question that you have aliens that are much more advanced than us, there may be a different type of power play thanks to us being way less advanced at them. Like it depends what they define as a conscious being.
I don't think it really depends because, in theory, they would say it is fair because they do the same thing to others, don't they? They
Yeah.
really say they say I have power over animals. I can do whatever I want to them. Therefore, we have power over them. We should be able to do whatever we want to them. It's essentially cultural. They would essentially be respecting your culture by enslaving and slaughtering you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But, like you can argue like also as well like microorganisms or like
There is a difference. Do you know what sentience is?
Yeah.
So sentience means the capability of a
understand it.
subjective experience.
as we understand it. Like we understand certain things as being sentient, but like
That's the point. Putting
So we
putting
know
the
for a
bar
fact
in
that the
which
animals
there's
that we
consciousness where there's
Yeah.
sentience.
we know for a fact that the animals we exploit and slaughter for food, for example, are definitely sentient. Do we not?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, they feel, they have emotions, they think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it fair to bring them to life, to use them, and to kill them?
Okay, that poses another question. What would you think if aliens come to Earth, being much more advanced, and they told us, we're gonna give you a better life. We're gonna enslave you in a
You're
way,
not giving them.
but we're gonna.
Yeah, they're not getting.
No,
they
yeah,
don't
that's
get a
the
better
problem.
life.
Look,
I think the
forget about
problem
the
with-
fucking, sorry.
No, no, no.
TikTok.
That's okay. You can say fuck it. So I say fuck all the
Forget,
time.
forget about the aliens. We're talking about animals.
No,
okay?
yeah,
The
I'm going
analogy
to
is
that. I
still
think
but
the
I
most
see what
fair,
you mean.
yeah,
It
the
doesn't
most
really
fair
matter,
point
does
is
it?
giving a fair life to the animal and then maybe using it as the end.
I value freedom more than I value comfort. What do you value more, freedom or comfort? Like, would you rather a rich person keeps you in their basement, but it's really nice in there, but you never have freedom, or would you rather be free and deal with life
Suffer,
yourself?
yeah.
Maybe suffer, yeah.
That's,
I don't know, honestly.
that's a good philosophical question.
Yeah.
I think you know. You're walking in Amsterdam, man. What do you mean you don't know? You're walking through Amsterdam. You're seeing the world. Obviously, you value more freedom. Everybody values more freedom. I think it would be a bit disingenuous to say you don't, or it would be a bit like you haven't been through that. I guess maybe.
Yeah, I think that's the
yeah.
problem. We have one type of freedom that a lot of people in this world don't have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there will people in the world that will maybe value a little bit more of a comfortable lifestyle instead of their freedom. Depends on how much you suffer.
Up
with your-
until they actually get it, because nobody realizes how important freedom is until they no longer have it.
Yeah, I
Right.
think it's a middle point in which you need to have comfort and freedom to live a good life.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
true. But do you
uh-huh.
think that any of these animals have comfort?
No, most don't. Yeah, most don't.
And if they do you think they have comfort because we care about them, or do you think they have comfort because it makes a better product, or we can sell them for more money?
Both.
Depends. That depends really on.
Yeah,
who
depends
does it.
on- Yeah.
There's people like come on, we know. There's good people in this world. Like there are people who care, about animals who actually like
Not as individuals though, do they? They care about animals as the products that they are.
That
If they're
depend-
farmers,
I
If
think
they're
there's
like industrial
yeah.
farmers, of course.
even small farmers. What do you mean?
I think they may care about their animals to a
Well-
certain point. It's their living at the end. They need to do it so that they can eat, they can sleep, they can pay for their things. But at the end, there's people that I do think that have a
I'm
personal
sure like
connection
there's
with their.
like many farmers who do may
Uh-huh.
Have you ever had a personal connection with an animal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you want to kill them and sell their flesh?
No, but I haven't
course
had the
not.
need of it. I think.
No. But even if you, because that's the thing about it, it isn't a need. It's that they've been taught to do this, right?
Yeah.
Their it's a programming that they're suffering. But I don't think that makes it okay in my book, right?
Yeah, but I think it's a very complex system. You cannot come to a farmer and just tell them, hey, change your way of living, change the part where you're getting money. It ends up hurting a lot of families, a lot of people.
But don't you think
they-
that it actually hurts them a lot more in the process of you supporting what they do? Because when you support what they do, they are as you said, especially the ones who care about their animals, they do cry when they have to send their animals to slaughterhouse. They do suffer from that. They do it because they have to get some money. They barely make money out of it. I don't know if you've ever looked into it, but the margin for profit
it's not much
is
money.
it's so small. Like that's why farmers are poor, because they barely get money out of it, and that's why all the small farmers become big farmers, because the more animals they have, the more money they can make. But in the end, even a farmer, I think I spoke to a farmer who had 200 cows, and with 200 cows, he was just making like a normal salary, like that you would in that country. So because he was from UK, so I don't think you're helping them out. If they were to be switching to plant agriculture, for example, for oats or stuff, there's been several cases where they end up earning considerably more money, right? But either way, like even during slavery times, when we had slavery here, there were people who had jobs in regards to slavery, right? There were people who were educating slaves. There were people who were keeping track of slaves, people who were catching slaves, people who were transporting slaves. There were a lot of jobs. It was a whole industry around it. Do you think we should have kept slavery because of the jobs that those people had?
No, and if you put it in that way, I think it's a whole system that we should be checking.
Exactly.
We should be finding to change in a way. It's hard. I think it's not something that can be done easily just by believing differently. I think it needs to be, a lot of things need to be reevaluated, and a lot of systems too. And the way we also raise our children in a way. It's a bit controversial to think about veganism in children and all of that. And
What do you think being vegan is, by the way?
vegan is not eating any animal products, no meat, no milk, no eggs.
That's what a vegan does. That's a
Uh-huh.
consequence of being vegan, but that's not what being vegan is.
Okay, it's caring of other living beings. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a moral principle where you say animals should not be exploited. You don't really have to care about animals. You just have to say it's unfair that we use them and exploit them. And as a consequence of that, you follow through with it and say, well, I'm not going to pay for them to be used and exploited, right?
Yeah, no, and I'd say it as a meat eater. I've thought a lot of times about turning vegan and all that, and I think it falls a lot into the I don't care kind of principle.
I also didn't care about animals, but
Yeah.
I consider myself a fair person. Do you consider yourself a fair
Yeah,
person?
I consider myself a fair person.
Do you think then it's okay to support, when you don't need to do it, do you think it's okay to support something that is inherently unfair and violent towards the most defenseless creatures?
No, I don't.
The ones who also put their trust in us, because the reality is these animals put their trust in the farmers, and then the farmers just slash that trust by killing them, by taking away their babies. Like just to put things into perspective, do you guys know what dairy cows go through?
I've imagined all the sanitary, how do you say it, precautions that they must go through, suffering mostly by being so tightly packed and.
Well, let's just go through
Yeah.
it a little bit. Maybe if you live here, you at least know this one thing, which is great,
Yeah.
you know? So cows, why do they produce milk in the first place?
They have
they have
little
cocks.
cowlings, so-
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Well, you guys are miles ahead of me. I used to just think that cows eat grass and they
No.
produce milk.
No.
But yeah, that's true.
They're mammals, uh-huh.
They get.
They mammals. That's
Uh-huh.
true. That's true. So, do you think they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers get them pregnant?
No, they're being forced.
Yeah, they're being forced. If we did that in a human context, would that be okay?
No, it
That
wouldn't be okay.
Yeah.
No.
Well, like to all of this, like it's something that really interests me always. It's like, what would you say the solution is? Is there a solution?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is, but let's just go through this whole thing and then we can discuss that solution. Okay.
Okay.
So
I
that's
mean, we don't got all day.
no, it's true.
Like,
It
all
takes
day, all day.
like 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So yeah, when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
They usually either slaughter them if they're not gonna turn into another milk cow. They could sell them. They get separated from the mothers.
They get
basically.
separated
Yeah.
from their mothers. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they separate
so that
them?
they keep producing milk.
So that they don't drink the milk.
Yeah, they don't drink the milk.
Yeah, so
exactly.
that's why they separate the babies from the mother, so that they don't drink their mother's milk, so that we can control how much milk we get from them, right? Sometimes farmers do feed them back some of the milk, but most of the times they don't. If they're born male, they don't produce milk, so
They get slaughtered.
exactly. And if they're born female, year over year, forceful insemination, baby stolen and exploited for milk, repeatedly every year until one point when they kill them. Do you know what has to happen for them to kill them?
They stop producing milk.
It's a close one. They actually stop getting pregnant. If they don't get pregnant, they kill them.
Okay.
And that happens at the fraction of their lifespan, like 25% of their natural lifespan, between 6 to 8 years, and they can live 24, 25 years. Is this fair to them?
It's not fair. It's a horrible process.
Do we need to consume dairy products?
No, we don't. We don't need to do it, but this has been installed inside of Portugal for so much that it's hard. And honestly, I was raised by a family that eats a lot of meat, that they like.
Same.
Yeah.
So the solution,
Yeah.
the solution is to adopt a plant-based diet. For food, the solution is in case of clothing, for example, instead of wearing leather, wear something else. Maybe vegan leather, maybe any other type of material. The solution is instead of going to a zoo, go to somewhere else to entertain
Yeah,
yourself.
no, that's
Yeah,
easy
no.
to say, but
Yeah.
not everyone's gonna do it.
No,
And-
not everybody's gonna do it. That's true.
And the industry's not gonna disappear. Like that small
may.
change that we really want to do, and that we really think that as individuals we can achieve something, which is true.
Yeah.
I do believe in
mean-
cultural changes.
Yeah, but
It's
But at
such
the end of the
a-
day, you can know that even if the industry doesn't disappear within your lifetime, you can know that you were not supporting it. you
Yeah,
know?
but isn't that like
like
you
imagine,
know, just like oh, I washed my hands. I'm not part of that. You know.
well, that's the bare minimum that you can do. Yes, I
That
also
is the
speak
bare
up for
minimum.
animals, but I think the bare minimum you can do is not support them, right?
Of course,
Right.
100%. But at the end of the day, like that's not the solution to the whole like.
Look,
It is part
Torture.
of it,
It is
unfortunately.
the
part
whole,
of it.
the
No,
whole
of course it
problem
is.
I have with that is that at the end we are carnivorous animals.
Oh no, we're omnivores. we
We're
can eat
omnivorous
both,
animals, yeah. That's why we have such a taste for meat. It's
No, we have this because you've just used to it. The reality is
Yeah.
most of us eat the same foods because we're used to them.
Yeah.
It's not that we have a taste for meat. I think I don't have a taste for meat because I haven't eaten it in 12 years. So I really
That's-
don't have any preference for it.
That's a point that I have. That I have a lot of vegan friends, and
Yeah.
we have had a lot of discussions, and I end up a little bit in the alleyway that we end up looking for that taste. A lot of my vegan friends do miss, in a way, their animal-based products, and I think it's because
There's several alternatives these
biolo-
days.
It's
yeah, this
fair.
is-
Like you like that, like
Uh-huh.
that taste. Like that's fair.
So
But
I-
there's
you don't
plant-based meats
contribute-
these
yeah.
days, right?
I
Like you
think
don't
it's,
need to exploit an
uh,
animal. The whole point isn't like I don't really I don't like telling people what to do or what to eat. I don't like. I think the whole point of it is you can choose however you want to eat, whatever you want to do, but don't make your choices somebody else's problem, right? Like don't make your choices
Yeah,
the
exactly,
exploitation and
exactly.
slaughter of an
That's-
animal.
That's the point where I
right?
want to find. I think it's a really good outcome to find a plant-based diet and try to not support an industry that it's such cruel as that. But we should also be looking into the way of how could we ethically find a diet that actually adapts us to our biological needs in a way. If we're omnivorous
but that's
animals,
a plant-based diet.
That's a plant-based diet, but there could be other ways. Maybe
Yeah,
you're
but, like-
you growing your own type
There's
of
lab-grown
meat.
meat that will but you growing an animal is the same thing.
That's
You-
really
but
privileged, though. You
You
know.
caring for the animal
Not
and
everyone
you
can afford
making the
that.
decision of doing it.
would you kill your dog to eat them?
Maybe yeah.
Not
No.
if you need to, if you
Yeah.
want to.
Look, let's kind of wrap this up.
Yeah.
We don't have all day,
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry. I'm
let's-
sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
no,
sorry.
no,
It's
no,
a
don't
good-
worry.
yeah.
It was a
Good
great
talk.
conversation.
It's
But
not a good conversation.
It's just like I feel like we can come up with all sorts of excuses for us continues doing this because when we think from our side, we enjoy it, we like it, we get benefit from it, and when we think from this side, we can always come up with the excuses. Oh, it's not that bad. I'm not supporting that. Oh, I don't see it. All this kind of stuff. But if you take the whole picture, especially if you think from the perspective of the victim, all these excuses fall short because if you were in their shoes, like we started with the alien experiment, you wouldn't want that to happen to you. No matter what you say, like you can say it as a justification for because I don't want to feel bad about my choices, but the reality is you wouldn't want that to happen to you. Nobody would.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to be in those shoes, and you can get to choose that for some animals, right?
yeah,
It's-
no,
it's-
and that's the real privilege. Like we can have this conversation. We can actually,
Debate
consider a vegan diet. Like
Yeah.
we're in a point where we can choose what to eat. Let's be grateful for that. Not
yeah, we're-
exactly.
we
We're
can
finding new
think
ways,
about
exactly,
that.
yeah.
That's a privilege. Not
So-
just eating whatever is on the table, which is the case for many people.
Well, actually, I would say that the privilege is considerably more privileged to think that you have the right to take somebody's life and pay for that. That's
No,
for
no,
me
I- no, no, no,
privilege.
yeah, no,
But I know what
mean
you mean in a
the
society
privilege,
where
yeah.
people are more poor and stuff. Maybe
They
they
don't
don't have
have a,
access.
like-
But you know what? Actually, most poor people they eat considerably less animal
Yeah,
products because they're
rice.
usually the cheap,
Yeah,
the
like-
expensive
it's
one.
not that cheap to eat animal-based products.
But I'll ask you this one question and I'll let you go. How many more animals should be exploited for you until you change?
So I change. I think that I can't quantify that because.
Do you want it to
honestly,
be more than zero?
No, I
I'm
wouldn't.
still gonna eat sushi. I'm sorry.
There's vegan sushi, man.
They ain't like the real thing until
It is monumentally.
It's a bit like an
until
addiction, I
we
think.
until we achieve that same taste, that same texture, that
Okay,
same.
I have a task for you. You got to go to the vegan sushi bar here in Amsterdam.
Okay.
What's the name?
Vegan sushi bar.
Vegan
Vegan sushi bar.
Okay,
Okay,
vegan
that's-
sushi
for
bar
it.
in
that was pretty-
Amsterdam.
okay, vegan sushi
I
bar.
accept that.
Swear
I didn't
will.
like sushi. I was
swear
mind blown
will.
by this
I
one.
swear I will.
It's with black rice, so it's even nicer, healthier,
Okay.
and it's got some of the things like just try it all. They're all
I will.
really good.
I will. No, that's actually. You never know.
Okay.
I might.
And
I might.
I urge you. I'll give you 2 cards, and I urge you one thing. Then just because we just talked a little bit about dairy, but
Yep.
if you scan this QR code, and there's the minion and the most important speech you'll ever hear. I urge you just to watch one of those 2 things. Can you promise me you'll watch one of those 2 things?
We'll
just
watch
to
one of
kind
them,
of see what
yeah.
you're supporting. And if you don't want to be part of any of it, you have several things there to help you for free. Even access to a certified nutritionist for free. All of it is there to help you adopt a plant-based diet if you need
Yep.
to.
Okay.
Okay.
So 2 things. Watch one of those videos and go to the vegan sushi bar.
Vegan
Okay,
sushi
we'll go
bar.
to vegan
Okay,
sushi bar.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good
No
one.
worries. Have a
don't
good
worry.
one.
Have a
Yeah,
good
you
one.
too. Bye.
Adiós, Mexico.
I'm out of shape a bit with the conversation. It was okay. It's okay. I didn't. That's okay. I think thank God Chip has enough energy off plants to keep this fantastic going. This fantastic. Oh, thank you. I didn't think it was that great, but that's okay. I think it's what is happening right now with me is that I'm going through a transition period where I'm trying new things, like this alien thing. I'm kind of trying it out, and it's kind of throwing off my, quick response game. Let's put it this way. So I'm in that place, but that's okay. Chip better get discounts at vegan sushi bar. That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, it's a really good place. If you're ever in Amsterdam, guys, vegan sushi bar. Fuck yeah, it's so good. I don't like sushi by default, but there I'm like it's fucking paradise. It's excellent. Oh, some people are looking. Come on, try that social experiment. Some people might be coming over now. We do a little bit of social experiment. Has vegan says fish feel pain. You are 100% right. Has. My signs attract a lot of the bees, sadly, because they're yellow. Say that again. Yeah, I'm live. I'm live when they're fighting over who's gonna come. Come on, you guys come. I saw you first.
Are you filming it?
I'm live on YouTube right now.
How many people are watching?
180.
Okay, and what's the question about?
Oh,
is it a question or is just?
I just ask you some questions to get you to think a little bit.
Oh, nee, maar let's do allemaal, guys.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
You wanna come here?
Oh
Are you
my
okay
God.
being live for my YouTube channel? I heard Dutch, so I'm guessing you're from
Yeah,
here.
we're
What are your
from
names?
Belgium.
You're
My
from
name
Belgium.
is Abigail and I'm from Belgium.
I'm Jana, I'm from Netherlands. Ik ook Belgisch hier.
Yeah.
I'm Turkey, I'm from Belgium.
Nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Okay,
Hi.
I'll be quick so I don't
Hi.
hold off your time too much.
Where are you from?
I'm from Romania originally, but I also live here in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Oh, you guys, she's
I'm
vegan.
vegetarian.
You're vegetarian?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Okay, what rights do you think they deserve?
Just rights to live freely, actually.
I
And
like that.
not.
Staat wel
Yeah,
bij.
no, but
That's a good
rights to
one.
live freely, actually. And for example, in the zoo, like I find like the dolphins, they always have to get trained to be like into the water and stuff. I find like they don't belong in the zoo, you know.
They
Most
don't.
animals actually don't belong in the zoo.
I think that they deserve same rights as human beings because like human beings they find like super egocentrical people and that they feel the need to decide over animals what they deserve but because they cannot talk, you know, and but I think I don't know what I'm saying.
I like that.
Um,
I like that. I like what you said, freedom. You said they deserve
Yeah,
the same rights
yeah.
as humans.
And
What do
I-
you think? I'm sorry, it just caught you
Yeah,
off
it's
guard
like- it's
while
like-
you're eating
I
something.
agree with the dolphin thing because last time I saw ice bear and it was brown, but it should be white,
White,
yeah.
right? But I'm not vegetarian. I love chicken, but it's like a part of human cycles eating animals, but at the right way, you know, not like all together and
Do you think they
know?
deserve the right? Do you think they deserve freedom and the same rights as humans? You don't?
A few, but not
A few.
all.
Not all. How do you base who you give rights to?
Wat zegt hij?
Hoe baseer je op welke rechten dieren krijgen? Hoe baseer je dat?
Welke
Waarop
rechten
baseer
denk
je
je
dat?
dat die
Look.
wel-
Hoe moet ik dat zeggen?
Zeg
Wat-
maar,
wat
wat
was-
wil je
Like,
zeggen?
geen mishandeling of zo, snap je?
No abuse or
hurting.
something,
Not abusing them.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's abuse to you?
Killing
cut-
the animal, for
is killing the
example,
animal
Yeah, but
abuse?
like, spuiten,
giving injections to the animals, for example.
or just like hanging them up and like cut in one
Or
time.
put in the boiler and let them suffer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's
Well,
abuse, actually.
everything you described is things that actually happen to chickens, like cutting
I
their
know, but-
throat, putting them. They actually go through the way they kill chickens in most countries is they go through an electrified water, which electrocutes them, and then they have their throats
Oh,
cut.
and I know one thing.
Wait,
Guys, you should hear this because then they have cows and then they make them wet and then put electricity on them because they don't want to walk through the gate where they are being cut because they can see what's happening there. So then they are being forced to go in there with electricity. Remember,
I've heard
guys?
that also. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm a Muslim, so it's not the same way that you guys tell.
You're a Muslim. That's
Yeah.
okay, but I've heard
It's
of
not
people.
with electric or water. It's like we relax
Halal.
them, and then we
You cut their throat.
but it's like the animals really relaxed.
You have
Yeah.
not seen the video.
Yeah, I
sadly.
have seen a video.
I've seen the relaxation because they usually
they
they
say-
hold them like this, and then
No,
they give them water,
like
and then they say
scab?
a bisma. But it's not. They're not really relaxed.
it's
I
a
mean, we
sheep.
all know that they're scared.
Okay, so they take a sheep, they say it, and then they close their eyes with the ears so they don't panic at all. But yeah, different opinions.
I
Are
don't
you
think it's
a
opinion.
vegetarian
I'm
or-
vegan actually. So do you know what being vegan is?
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
Like no products
no
from
meat,
like
no.
animals. No
But
milk.
do you don't eat fish as well, or you also eat fish?
No. Fish are sentient beings. They have an experience of the world. I
Okay.
don't want to take their life away.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the crux of it, right? I think animals that are sentient. Do you know what sentience is?
No.
So it means that they have a subjective experience of the world. It means they're subjects of their own universe. It means like if you can imagine if I would be in your place, I can imagine kind of how you see. It's basically you're the subject of your universe. You're the subject of your universe, and your life matters to you more than anything else.
Yeah.
Just the same for all animals. This is the bare minimum that I think we should respect, because if I ask you why it's wrong to harm a human being, it's because they're subjects of their own universe. It's because
Yeah.
they have an experience of the world, and I wouldn't want to interfere with that. Why would I do that, right? So it's the same for animals, and I just follow through it, all of it. I don't eat their flesh. I don't drink their milk. I don't drink their secretions like eggs or stuff like that. I don't eat that, and I also don't go to zoos. I don't wear leather and stuff. But all of it is because I want to respect animals at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right?
That's very
And I
beautiful.
think because we can not talk with animals, you know.
Yeah.
That people maybe think that they are like under us in like, how do you say it? I don't know. But they are actually really smart and can really feel
They are.
everything. Like for example, pigs, or how do you say?
Pigs,
Pigs, yeah.
They are like super smart, you know.
They're the fourth most smartest animal we have.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, because this actually applies to all three of you. Do all three of you consume dairy products?
Dairy products.
Milk, cheese, all this kind of
Yes.
stuff? Yeah, so do you
But I
know,
try to stop with milk actually.
but do you know what cows produce? Let's just go, I want you going away from this to just know about what cows go through for milk. Do you know why cows produce milk?
No.
I heard some. Okay, tell me because I don't really know.
So why would a human being produce milk?
For the child.
Exactly, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. A cow has to have a baby in order to produce milk. So do you think that they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
Farmers and
Yeah.
Yeah, farmers
for the
impregnate
milk,
them.
for the people, for the
Yeah.
for the shops and stuff.
Yeah, the procedure most of the times is that they put their hand in their anus, they hold their cervix, and then they inject bull semen in their vagina. Because not every farm has a bull there, and it's the cheapest way to do it, and it's the safest way to do it physically for them. So yeah, that's if we did that to a human being, would that be okay?
No.
Okay, so that's the first thing. When the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
they
go
get
away
taken away
from
yeah.
the mother.
Do you know why?
Because then the milk is for the the milk is not for human beings but for the cows.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Because if they stayed with their mothers, they would drink the milk, and the farmers wouldn't have enough to sell. So they want to control that. So they separate them directly. Sometimes they feed them back some of the milk. Most of the times they don't. If they're born male, they're considered useless for that farm because they're a different breed. What do you think happens to them?
I don't know.
They kill them.
Damn.
And if they're born female, the same fate as their mother, every year impregnated, every year's baby stolen, and every year exploited for milk. And at some point they also kill them. Do you know when they kill them?
Because then they are not useful, I think.
Yeah, when they can no longer get them pregnant, they try. If they don't get pregnant, they kill them, because they're only in heat once a year, and if they have to wait another year until they get in heat again, it would mean feeding them, and it's just too much money for them.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that happens at like 25% of their lifespan normally. So, is that nice to do to animals?
No.
Absolutely not.
Do you want to support this?
Yes. I'll try. Yeah, I'll try my best to support it.
No, I mean, do you want to support what happens to these animals?
Oh no.
No.
No, correction.
No.
guys.
Yeah. But when you buy animal products, do you understand that you are supporting a system like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I became vegan, because I just didn't want to be part of this. I'm also an activist, and I speak to people and trying to get others to not be part of it.
Yeah,
But
that's
even
really
you,
nice.
you said you have with the Muslim things. Most
Yes.
Muslims think milk is halal, but if you look in all the practices, you will notice that they're very much haram.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think it's nice what we did to dairy cows?
No, but
Do you
it's
think
not
that?
haram to drink milk.
No, but that's the whole point about it. Do you understand, right? What happens to these animals?
Yeah, but
What is the experiment?
Well, I normally ask people about, like, if aliens would come to Earth and they would wanna, because they have power over us, they would just wanna farm humans. Would that be moral? Of course, most people would say no. And then I try to ask a little bit of questions, and then I turn it around. But wait, we do all of this to animals. Is it moral, right? Because a lot of the times we do all of this just because we want to. And even in your case, I would
Yes.
argue that context matters in all of it, right? Especially in religion, context matters more than anything. When you read any form of religious text, and if you think about the context that those texts were written, they lived in a world where they had to consume animal products. You don't live in that world. You live in a world where you don't have to. What do you think would be morally preferable? Your religion, and this is for all of you. What do you think is better? To not do this to animals, or to do this to animals?
To not do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. They're not equal, right? They're not like, oh, doing this or not doing this is the same.
Yeah.
One is clearly bad. That's all it is. So you can choose from now on a plant-based diet. You can choose to be vegan, and you can choose to not support any of this.
Yeah.
Especially you, since you're vegetarian, and that seems more easier for you. So I'll ask you this one final question, which is the difficult one, and then I'll give you some cards and I'll let you go. How many more animals should be exploited and slaughtered for you until you change?
How many? None actually. Wait.
None.
Wait. Yeah, none actually.
How about you?
None.
wat betekent dat?
Hoeveel dieren of zo moeten nog zo die dingen meemaken voordat je vegetarisch wordt?
Maar ik ga niet vegetarisch worden.
Oké, zeg gewoon.
ja,
Zeg gewoon.
No.
I understood that, by the way. I speak a little bit of Dutch. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just argue, like, I'm trying to get you to think a little bit. I know we were all taught about that it's okay to do this, but just really think a little bit. And you know what? I'll actually give you some cards. Wait, I have a couple more. I'll give you 3 cards. I just want you to think a little bit, and don't just believe everything that is told for you, because
Yeah, sure.
you
we
might
have to do our own research.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm giving you this card. On it, there's a thing there called Dominion, or the most important speech you'll ever hear. Can you just promise me you'll watch one of these two? They talk about eggs and everything else. In
Yeah.
Dominion, they actually show it, so maybe you want to see it. But otherwise,
Show. They put videos from.
yeah. But if you can't watch that, then the most important speech you'll ever hear is just a guy talking about eggs and everything. And it's actually a really good speech. Can you promise me you'll watch one of these two?
Yes, we'll watch
Yes,
it.
we
I appreciate you so much.
Thank
Have an
you.
awesome day. And
It's nice what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
let's
Keep
be
it
compassionate
going.
and fair
Yeah.
towards animals, okay?
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Nice people. Nice people. Man, the sun really is not making it easy on me. Nice people, yeah. Hey, Alexandra. Oh, I like it when Alexandra is here. Always nice. I don't know, Alexandra. It's been so long since I've seen you. I feel like we gotta have a subscription or something where we meet each other. It's insane. We haven't seen each other in so long. But yeah, look at this guy. River Kuala, get out of the Netherlands, brother. I'm a Dutch citizen. Why would I get out of here? Oh, and is it because I speak for the animals' rights that I should get out of here? I think they were nice. I think the vegetarian girl was kind of like thinking about it. I think she was kind of dreading hearing about what cows go through, dairy cows, when we started talking. That's kind of how I felt. But I love that the girl on the left said instantly that none, and I feel like it helps. It helps to see this, to have these kind of conversations. It helps to push the message forward. I'm not sure if they'll go vegan, I'll be honest, but I do think that if they watch the video, at least one of them will be almost there. Let's put it that way. I'm low. I'm late to the party, says Renee. Renee, you're not late. You're just in time. I appreciate you. Well, you are pretty late, actually, because we're going to be staying for another 30 minutes, and that's it. Sunburn. Renee, thank you. Oh, no, Josie. Thank you so much, Josie. I thought Renee donates again, because Renee always donates. Don't donate, Renee. Stop donating. You donated enough. Josie Milton, thank you so much. Josie Milton, thank you. Stay hydrated. Thank you for reminding me. I forget. I always forget. You're right. Stay hydrated. I forget about that. Stay for an hour. I can't. I have to, at 3 p.m. here, I have to be at home. But I'll come back tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I'll be here tomorrow also doing outreach. Chip texting his vegan muscles. Chip flexing. Not texting. What would it be? Flexing. I'm not flexing. Am I flexing? No, I'm just holding the sign. Yeah, as I told you, I think I changed my workout routine, so I'm gonna start growing muscles. I think my lats are a little bit bigger as I noticed, but I'm trying not to eat more. So maybe not. I just really don't want to eat a lot of food. It's tiring to eat food. It's tiring to eat that much. I have to eat 5,000 calories in some days, and it's a lot of calories to eat. Hello.
Hi.
Are you guys okay being live for my YouTube channel?
For your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Are we okay?
You can also be off camera if you
Yeah,
want.
I think it's better if we're off camera.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's your name?
I'm Nia.
Mia. Where are you from?
I'm from Germany, Leipzig.
Germany. Nice. I'm Chip. I'm from Romania, but I live here in the Netherlands. So I'm an animal rights activist. I ask people,
Okay.
do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What rights do you think they deserve?
I think they should be treated so that every. Oh my God.
You're doing great. You're doing great. By the way.
I think they should be treated nicely.
Yeah.
So that even if I'm not a vegetarian or so, but I think it's if I eat meat or so, thank you. I'm looking that it's always good for the animals or that they had a good life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you eat chickens, for example?
Yeah.
Do you know at what age chickens get killed at? They can live 10 years.
Mhm.
What age do you think they're killed at?
It's not that long though.
Educated guess.
Some months. 6.
Yeah, that's good. It's 2 months.
2 months. Okay. Wow, that's impressive.
42 days. It's less than 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it matter if they had a good life? If they're killed as babies?
Okay.
Like, do you think these animals don't deserve rights?
I think they deserve rights, but it's not. So we live in a world where it's not that. I think it's not important for everyone.
Do you think you deserve the right to not be enslaved or killed?
Yeah.
Do you think that if it's not important for everybody else, you should still have that right?
so, yeah.
Do you think that if somebody wants to exploit and kill you because they get benefit from it, should they be allowed to?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, so if somebody wants to exploit and kill you, should they be allowed to?
I don't think so, no.
No. So then, what makes you so special? And I'm sorry, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but what makes you so special that you deserve all this, but an animal doesn't?
I think it's this typical discussion
Yeah.
every one of us at least had once in their life, maybe even with themselves. But yeah, this is the difference between humans and animals, and I think society is.
I mean,
yeah.
society definitely creates
Yeah,
this
creates this.
separation, right?
Mm.
But we're all animals,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're all sentient. Do you know what sentient means?
No.
So it means we all have an experience of the world. We're all subjects of our own universe, and we both have both positive and negative emotions, right?
Yeah.
Like animals have feel happy, feel sadness, they feel anxiety, they have all of these range of emotions that we do too, right? So they're not as intelligent as us, and that is right. But do you think that should be a differentiator whether we kill or not somebody based on intelligence?
I mean, at some point we have to do this cut, but it's really.
Do you think we need to kill animals for food?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if you were to find out that we can survive and be healthy, as healthy as we can, on a plant-based diet without harming any animals in the
I
process.
mean, we can definitely be healthy without meat or so.
Yeah. Without any animal products, not just meat, dairy, eggs, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine, I think. But I mean, it's really complicated. This kind of so to go to a supermarket, and I think that it's not just meat or food or anything. It's also plastic and the whole thing.
That's for the
about that.
environment.
Yeah,
right?
that's for the environment. But like,
But I'm assuming you use some plastic in your life, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Would it be okay for somebody to kill you because it would be better for the environment because there would be less plastic usage because you use some plastic in your life?
Based on this logic, yeah.
No, yeah, so the reason why I ask these questions, by
Yeah.
the way, is because a lot of the times when you think about animals, you're right, our first thought comes to the environment. But the environment, while it is an important topic, we always put individuals on top, right? Like we wouldn't kill a human being to save the
Yeah.
environment. Why would we kill an animal to save the environment? Coincidentally,
That's the discussion.
coincidentally, a plant-based diet is the best one for the environment.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the most, if you care about plastic, 85% of the plastic in the ocean is coming from the fishing industry. So coincidentally, adopting a plant-based diet would help also with plastic and the environment.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the rights of these animals, I think we should respect their rights regardless of that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so knowing that you can survive and be healthy on a plant-based diet, why wouldn't you want to adopt it? And I mean this not unlike pointing a finger at you or something.
Yeah.
I mean this in like the conversation-wise. Like, why is it that you wouldn't want to adopt this? I understand you might get some pleasure and you have some convenience there that where you
Yeah.
are used to it.
Yeah,
But-
I'm used to it, of course.
But is any of this really a good justification to be violent towards these innocent animals?
In the end, not.
No.
No, but I think I grew up where I eat meat and I'm known with this kind of behavior.
Do you think you can make choices on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
think
Do you
so.
think it would be empowering for you to make choices on your own that would stand up to what is right, even if it might be a little bit more difficult?
Sorry, I blacked out.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You know, this topic a lot of
Yeah.
the times because it's so ingrained in our mind. Our brain will do a lot of dodges and try to don't. We don't. Our brain doesn't like change. You know.
Yep.
So what I was asking is, do you think that if you were to change, for example, adopt a plant-based diet, it would be empowering you because you would be making a choice where you are standing up for something that it is right, and in that sense, you would also making the choices against what everybody else is telling you, maybe, or maybe against what everybody else is doing, also.
I think with this thought, it would be okay with me to have a plant-based diet or
Yeah.
be vegetarian or so, or vegan, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think this kind of behavior is really implemented in most people, in me too. I'm not gonna deny that, and that's why I think I'm not or I mean, I've tried it already. I tried eating the least meat I could have, and yeah, eat cheese or so, which is also not the best because it's milk again. But like, I tried it and it didn't work for me, and that's why I'm just not. Or
That's okay. That's okay. I understand
not
that.
changing that.
So
Yeah.
you know, I just want to go through what dairy cows go through, and then I'll let you go. Okay, that's it. I just want to go through.
Yeah, I mean, we want to eat too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. So dairy cows, why do you think they produce milk?
Sorry?
Why do you think they produce milk?
Because it's healthy. I
No,
guess.
I mean, like, why would you produce milk, for example?
Why would I produce milk
When would you produce milk?
to feed a baby?
Exactly. It's the same reason why a cow produces milk, because they have babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what farmers do is they forcefully impregnate them, right? They don't wait, and when they want to get pregnant, they forcefully impregnate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would that be okay if somebody did it to you?
I mean, that's the whole abortion thing, no.
No, it would
Wouldn't
not
be
be
okay.
okay. It's not abortion. It's the reverse abortion of
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
inseminating.
but like,
Yeah. So when the babies are born, what
Sorry.
do you think happens to them?
sorry?
When the babies are born, what do you think happens
Probably
to them?
they get killed.
The first thing that happens is they separate them from their mothers. Do you know why?
So the milk is for the farmers and not
Exactly.
the cow.
Well, you're smart. I like that. You're right. It's exactly that. Because if they stay with their mother, they drink their
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
milk, and they want to get as much milk out of them as they can. And if they're born male, you're right, they kill them. And if they're born female, they suffer the same fate as their mother. Every year impregnated, every year baby stolen, and every year exploited for their milk continuously and repeatedly. At some point, they also kill them. Do you know when?
When there isn't enough milk.
That's a good guess, but no, it happens when they can no longer get them pregnant. They try to get them pregnant, and if that doesn't stick, they
Yeah,
kill them.
I mean, it's the same thing. They don't produce milk anymore.
Yeah, because they don't produce milk. You're right. Is that fair?
Probably not. No.
It happens, by the way, the killing after they don't produce milk, after they can't get them pregnant, it happens after 6 or 7 repeated impregnations. So they 6 or 7 years, and they can live 24, 25 years. So it's a third or a quarter of their life. Is this not really bad? Is this really worth supporting? Like, I understand like the thing is, these industries, do you know what generational trauma is?
Could you explain that again?
Sure. So generational trauma is when, for example, my grandparents would teach my parents something because they had a trauma, let's say from the war or something, and my parents would teach me the same thing, and we just
Yeah.
end up passing the same information from generation to generation because of some trauma that somebody had at some point.
Yeah.
And that's no longer valid in those times. So it's the same thing that we do with animal agriculture and with animal products these days. They've been passed on from generation to generation, and at some point right now we're in the point where we don't need to do this anymore. So we should stop. Don't you want to be the first person to stop this? Don't you want to, in your generation thing,
To be the first person to not eat meat and kill off
to not
animals.
consume animal products? Yeah, to stand up for what is right.
I mean, I could try that. I mean, I've tried it already. It's just not for me, and I have to.
Yeah, but if we start with this attitude that it's not for me, we're already
Yeah.
starting with
I
like
mean,
I
of
can't do it,
course.
right? Like, but I will provide you with resources to help
Yeah.
you out with that. My question is just like if you have the resources, if you have a complete guide on how to do it, would you see it any issue or would you like? Let me ask this: if you had the guide on how to do it, how many more animals should be exploited for you until you change?
I think I'm gonna stop here. I think they're hungry, and I'm hungry too.
That's okay. That's
But,
okay. I understand it's a difficult question, but
yeah.
the reason why this question is very
I
difficult,
think
by the
this
way,
discussion is really difficult for everybody, and everybody
Yeah.
should have their own opinion about that.
I don't think everybody should have their own opinion. I don't think everybody should have their own opinion whether they should be violent towards an animal. Just like everybody should not have an opinion whether they should be violent towards a woman.
Okay.
Just because there are certain societies in this world where there is where women are considered less. I don't think that because it's cultural or because everybody does it that it should be everybody should have an opinion whether they want to do it or not. And it's the same for animals. You know, sadly, animals are the most disconsidered beings on this planet,
Yep.
and we think we should have the right to do whatever we want to them, and it should be our choice.
Yeah.
Sadly, it is our choice, but I don't think that it should be. I'm
Okay.
just clarifying. I'll give you a card. There's a documentary there called Dominion, or the most important speech you'll ever hear if you scan this QR code.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What's your solution to deal with this problem?
I would love it if I didn't need to speak to people on the street and try to get them to change, because obviously nobody likes to change, and sometimes the conversations can get heated. But I would love it to go to governments and say, hey, look, most of the people don't support it anyway, let's stop it. But the sad reality is 97% of people support this. So it's governments won't listen to me or anybody because 97% of people support it. So sadly, probably my whole life I'll spend trying to get people to stop this, and maybe towards the end of my life there will be people who will follow through with this, and they will say, you know what, now we can go to governments, now we can pass legislation, and now we can get people to start respecting animals.
So it's an organization, or
No, I'm on my own. I'm on my own. I just mean like,
But
you know.
with your YouTube, you're drawing attention to this.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with YouTube. That's why I'm live on YouTube, because there's a lot of people watching.
How many?
150 right now, but there was a little bit more. Yeah.
that's good. And you're traveling around the world, or are you only?
I'm poor, so no, I don't travel around the world. I just do it in Amsterdam, but there's so many tourists here. You see, I meet people from all over the world. But yeah, if I do travel, I will do that where I travel. Yes, I do that. I did it in US. It was very interesting in US, but yeah. Let me give you a card also. I just maybe share it amongst each other. Just Dominion and the most important speech ever here. Just learn about what you're paying for, because you might not be okay with it. My biggest regret, when I'm 38 by the way, and my biggest regret is not going vegan earlier, because I supported the worst thing ever.
How long are you being vegan?
4 years,
Okay.
and I was vegetarian for 8 before that, something like that.
But are you doing something different or something extra with these, additionally to these asks and talks and?
So I do have conversations with people on the street here. I also hold an event somewhere there next to the museum on Sundays. It's actually going to happen this Sunday, where we have virtual reality headsets, and we show people what animals actually go through, and then we have a conversations with them. But no, mostly I'm mostly the street guy. I'm mostly involved in the street. There are other people who are trying to get legislation passed, but I'm the street guy. I'm not that person. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Watch some of these documentaries just to learn what you're paying for. I cannot police you what you will do with all of this information.
Yes.
I just want you to know what you're paying for. Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate you having this conversation with me. Have a great day, and let's be compassionate and fair. Okay.
Yes.
That's all we want.
Okay.
Bye. Have a good one. You know what, everybody? I actually really enjoyed this conversation with these girls. You couldn't see this, sadly, they didn't want to be on camera, but one of the girls who was off camera, I felt like she really felt what I was saying. Like, one of the girls there was like, I didn't know. It felt like I don't know, because maybe they were speaking in German or something. I can't pay attention to both people, you know, you can pay attention to one. But it really felt like, oh. But you saw when I asked how many more animals, she instantly got, I think we have to go. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sadly, I don't think she will change because of that reaction. You know, I think that reaction is telling that we only just scratched the surface of it. That reaction is pretty indicative of that. So I don't think she will change, but that's okay. Others might, you know, they were listening. That's the whole point about it. We gotta go through this. We gotta go through this together. MF, how you expected people to kill animals for food? It's optional food. I saw you, Renee, donating. Stop donating, Renee. I saw you saying you can't tell me what to do or something. This isn't reverse psychology, Renee. Stop donating. Stop donating to me, Renee. Renee, donate to another activist. I mean, I appreciate it, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, there's a lot of activists who do a lot of great work. They all of them need donations, and you already donated for me, so, you know. Tone, thank you so much. But where seeds planted? So, Tone, I think with this girl, maybe. I think this girl actually, what I saw from this was more like feeling of guilt. That's what I understood from this girl. I really saw this large guilt, this large emotional heaviness. That's what I saw from her. From the others, though, there were a couple of girls who felt like there was clear seed planted. Yeah, they were like, I think they were in total 7 girls, something like that. Seven, maybe 8 girls. So yeah, there was definitely a seed planted. I mean, more than one, more than one. It's so interesting also that you see these people. A lot of the times people ask, I've been asked this twice today, haven't I? What can we do? Like, not what can we do, like, what's the solution, right? I've been asked this a lot of, and that's also, that's a good sign. Somebody asking what is the solution is a good sign, in my opinion. It's a sign that they think what we're doing is bad, right? It's clearly telling that, shit, we need, like, it wouldn't be, we wouldn't ask what's the solution if it weren't a problem, right? So clearly they see it as a problem. So that's a good sign. I hope they understood that we need more people to go vegan. I tried a little bit of a new thing with this girl because I thought she was brave enough to come here. She was amongst the group the only one who wanted to have a conversation with me, and then that's why I said this whole empowering thing, because I really wanted to empower her to get the change. I really wanted her to leave on her own legs and saying like, hey, I'm empowered. I actually want to stand up for what is right, you know? Even if you don't completely understand what it is, because that's the reality. A lot of us went vegan before we completely understood. We just had that click in our head. We realized what we're doing is wrong, and we said we want to change. And even if we didn't completely understand what we were doing, we just stood up. And I think like that's a big thing. It's the type of thing like, well, what is that expression? You get hungry as you keep eating, right? That's the type of thing. I was gonna be a wonderful weekend. Ribeye steaks, Jesus Christ, so many animals killed. I saw it, Benji. Oh my God. Listen, everybody, I know you get, like, I know you get benefit from slaughtering innocent animals. I'm not crazy. I used to be in your shoes too. I just think you need to consider a little bit also the other side of the other perspective, you know? These are sentient beings, man. And you know that description that I just made with generational trauma, that's the sad reality. The reason why most people consume animal products is because of this thing that is pretty similar to generational trauma. It's just information that has been passed on from generation to generation, and we think it's okay. But we reach the point where it's no longer okay. Sadly, I don't think my generation will be the one to stop it. I foresee maybe 4 or 5 generations ahead. Maybe they will stop it. But we have to continue momentum, and if we want it to happen faster, we need more people on the street. We need more people speaking up. We need more people to change. We need more people to listen. But that's a big problem today, huh? Today is a big problem. Because people don't listen. However, here's my theory, everyone, if you want to hear it. How do you feel about insect slaughter? I feel very bad about insect slaughter. We should not be doing that. We should not be. In fact, you know what animal agriculture does today? They actually selectively breed, they selected certain species of insects. They breed them, they farm insects so that they can feed the chickens and kill them sooner. They kill the chickens at 42 days when they can live 10 years. And they want to kill them even sooner. Imagine that. Hi. Hey, are you okay being live for my YouTube channel? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
I'm not familiar with it.
No, but are you okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Okay, sure.
What's your name?
Mael. Mael.
Mariel. You want to come here? Okay, nice. So Mariel, I'm an animal rights activist. Mael. Okay. Where are you from?
California.
California. Nice. Love it. So I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Wonderful.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Absolutely.
What rights do they deserve?
All rights of kindness and compassion and not eaten.
Are you vegan?
Yeah.
Oh, you are vegan. I'm trying to get people to be vegan. Why are you vegan?
Well, originally I did it for health reasons because of the way the animals are polluted, but now I do it for both health and moral reasons.
Yeah, so by the way, being vegan is just a moral reason, right? I know a lot of the times we think veganism is a diet, but it is not. It's just a moral principle of rejecting animal exploitation. So in other words, veganism is to animals what feminism is to women. It means just respecting their rights.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So as a consequence, we adopt a plant-based diet. And yeah, the diet is called a vegan diet because it's a diet that a vegan would have, but it's not necessarily that veganism is a diet. So
I call it a non-murderous diet.
Non-murderous diet. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
Actually, I
one.
just made it up.
Love it. Love it. Have you ever thought about speaking up for animals?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I
Are you an
mean,
activist also?
No, I wouldn't say I'm an activist. I'd say I'm just conscious.
Oh, you're just conscious. But let me ask you this. So if you're walking down the street and there's a person kicking a dog, do
Yeah.
you go in there and join them? Do you walk by and say nothing, or do you go and say something?
I would try to say something. I don't know if I would, depending on the person. If they look like they're crazy, which they would have to be abusing an animal, I might, first things first, I might look out for my own safety.
Yeah, let's imagine that you would be safe in that situation.
Oh, I would absolutely say something if I felt safe, yeah.
Yeah. So I when I pose this hypothetical, I try to draw a parallel then to what we do, because if we're not vegan, we're the people who walk by, we see somebody kicking an animal, and we join them. If we're just vegan, we walk by and
That's
we
a
say
wonderful-
nothing.
Wonderful.
But if we're
analogy, yeah.
activists and we speak up, then we would be the person who would go out there and say something.
That's great.
That's the
yeah,
importance
it's
of being an
shocking to me
activist.
that people that I love and care about don't get it, and they eat chickens and other animals, which is like, oh my God, do you know how they're treated? You can watch any video and see how they're treated. But it is what it is.
It is bad indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe consider doing activism. Where in California are you, by the way?
San Diego.
San Diego. Oh, that's my favorite place in United States. San Diego's does it not remind you of Amsterdam?
No.
No? I think the laid-back culture kind of reminds me
Oh
of
yeah,
Amsterdam a
maybe,
little bit.
yeah, a little bit.
But but yeah, of course, not the
I've only
architecture
been here for
stuff.
2 days, first time ever, so.
Here in Amsterdam, you mean?
Sure.
Yeah, not in not in San Diego.
Right.
Nice. How long are you here for?
I'm here till, I think, 2 more days, then we're going on a cruise.
Then you go to?
Cruise.
On a cruise. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like
Not
just
very
around the
environmentally
Mediterranean.
conscious, but
That's okay. We can have a little bit of fun from time to
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Let's just not harm others in the process.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole point.
yeah, right, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So
Any other questions?
that's it. I was just gonna say that if you're in Amsterdam and you want to have some good food, vegan sushi bar, I recommend it. They
Oh,
have.
we just came from a vegan restaurant.
Oh, nice. Which one? The one here with
With all the different dishes, very small. It's only 2 tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bench has a bench. Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I think it's vegan, yeah, but not everything's gluten-free. My husband is actually gluten-free.
Oh, okay.
So, and I try to be most of the time, so, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. There's a lot of gluten-free options also.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
have any
yeah.
issues.
Very cool.
Well, I appreciate you stopping
Yeah,
by.
very nice
I appreciate
talking
you
to you.
having
What
this
was your name
conversation with
again?
me. I'm Chip.
Chip.
Yeah, I'll just give you my card anyway. You have.
Okay, yeah.
Normally I
I'll
give
try
this
to
to
look me up.
non-vegans. Yeah, but you're vegan. That's okay.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have my social media if you want. Oh, you can
Oh,
take the card. It's
okay.
fine. I have plenty of them. What was your name again?
Mael.
Mael.
Sounds like my L.
Mael. I love it, Mael. Thank you for being vegan.
Thank you so much.
Consider
yeah.
speaking
Thank
up for
you
animals.
for
Okay.
caring about animals. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's we have to raise consciousness. It's when I share my truth, not in a put-down way, just in a kind way. If they're open to it, I think it helps.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Take care.
You too. Bye. I think everybody is thinking of ending it there, but I think we still have a little bit more time. Let's not end it right there, right now. Nice guy, huh? There you go. We met the vegan again today also. It's so nice to see vegans. Yeah, it's so I think we should. Have we met a vegan every single time we did outreach on the street? I think we have, haven't we? I think every single time we did outreach, we have met a vegan person. That was refreshing, says Haz. Yeah, Haz, it's nice. It's nice to see, right? I am looking forward to the day when I can just breathe out. That's why I love vegan camp out, by the way. It's just because when I go there, I don't have to, like, it's such a weird thing to be in a place where everything is vegan, where most people are vegan, where nobody's gonna consume an animal product. It's just such a interesting feeling to let your guard down. It's something that you forget about. Because as an animal rights activist, you kind of keep your guard up a little bit, right? I'm guessing also as a vegan, it's not always easy. It's also why I encourage a lot of you guys to do it. You want to try it? Oh, I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
What's that?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Oh, it's for your YouTube channel.
Yeah. You can be off camera if you want.
What questions?
What questions?
Oh, I just get you to think a little bit. They're not like knowledge questions or stuff like that. They're just a little bit to understand your values or get.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay. So you're gonna be off camera. You're good right now, by the way.
Okay.
Do you want to share your names?
Patrick.
Patrick,
Mary.
Mary. I'm Chip. Where are you guys from?
York?
Upstate New York.
New York. Love it. I'm from Romania. I'm from Romania, but I live here in Amsterdam.
We're gonna lose them.
So I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do
Okay.
animals deserve rights?
Of course.
Yes.
What rights do they deserve?
The right to live in peace, I think.
To be
The
free.
right to live in peace and be free.
free.
I
Yes.
appreciate that. Does this apply to all animals?
Yes. Even more so to human beings.
Exactly. So, do you think that the animals that we use for farming, for clothing, for food, do you think these also deserve to be free? Do you think they deserve rights?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a difficult question.
Because I eat chicken, I eat beef.
know. But they could be.
Detach yourself a little
It's
bit
part
from
of the food
that.
chain.
Detach yourself a little bit from that, because if you think about what you want to do, your brain would inherently start trying to find justifications. But try to think a little bit from their perspective, right? Because they're no different from any other animals that we have. They feel, they have emotions, they think. So I'm just curious, like.
So I've been following these eagles that
Yeah.
have hatched over the last few months, and the parents would bring them whatever, fish from the sea or a squirrel or whatever, and then I started thinking about, well, what about the poor parents of the squirrel? who were
Exactly.
right? So-
Exactly. Yeah.
But I was all into my eagle, so.
But you could argue that an eagle doesn't know any better,
Right.
and they don't have any choice.
And it's just following instinct because they need to eat.
But we, as humans, have choices,
We do.
and we do know better.
I try not to eat a lot of meat, actually.
We do have choices.
Yeah, we do have choices.
But it's also the food chain.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you look at the animals in the wild, the lions
thing.
hunt the zebras and
goes
everything
up.
else. You know,
do you
it's-
think we should dictating what we do based on what other animals do?
No.
Oh, this is
Because other
getting very-
animals
this is
also
getting so deep.
other animals
This
also
can go really deep, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
when I
like-
walk into a zoo, I hate seeing. I don't like.
Oh, don't go to zoos. They're in
I don't like
prison.
zoos because I see these animals and they look like they want to. I want to let them out.
Exactly, but that's
Okay.
also like you see in zoos, believe it or not, those animals have way better than like. If there's one thing I want you to get from this is dairy cows. Do you know what dairy cows go through? Do you know why they produce milk, for example?
Not
really-
exactly.
No. So I used to think that they eat grass and they produce milk, but they have to have a baby to produce milk. They're mammals like us, right? We only produce milk when we have a baby.
Thought about that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's I never thought about. It took me 30 years out of my life to realize that. So I get it. So yeah, they have to have a baby. Do you think that they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
they-
I know
yeah,
that they
it's-
impregnate
I know
them.
it's
Yeah, they impregnate them. Which
I had a friend who did that for a living.
I wouldn't say that's nice to do to an animal against their consent.
Well,
When
it's no different with dogs.
it's bad also any animal.
It's breeding. You know?
Yeah,
Breeding.
breeding dogs is
They
just
breed
as bad.
dogs, you
Yeah.
know.
When the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
What, a baby cow?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on if it's veal or not. If they do it, you know, they put them in a little hut. And,
So they separate them from their mother. That's the
Yeah,
first thing. Do you
yeah.
know why?
no.
Because if they stay with their mother, they would drink the milk, and farmers have to control how much milk they drink, right?
Okay.
So sometimes they feed them back some of the milk.
Right.
Sometimes they just feed them formula. And if they're born male, they are useless. They're considered useless because they're a different breed than the ones that we grow for meat. So what do you think they do to them?
Kill them.
Exactly. That's what
Okay.
veal, that's where veal comes from.
All right.
And if they're born a female, they suffer the
Now
same
you
fate as
took
their
me-
mothers.
Now I can't eat veal.
You don't eat any meat?
No, but let me just
None.
finish this and then you can
Okay.
ask me a question.
Alright.
Okay, so their mothers, same fate, year over year impregnation, year over year babies taken, and year over year exploited for their milk repeatedly every year for 6 to 7 times, after which they kill them. Do you know why they kill them?
The mothers,
Yeah.
so that we could eat them.
Yeah, but do you know why? Why do they kill them at that time?
I don't know.
Because they can't get them pregnant. So the minute they cannot
Oh,
longer
get
get them
pregnant.
pregnant,
Oh,
they
right.
kill them. Cows can live 24, 25 years, so they get killed at a fraction of their lifespan, at a quarter of their lifespan. Is that not bad? We don't need to consume any animal products. I'll just tell you right here. I'm not sure if you know this. We don't. We live in a society now where we have alternatives. We have science to back this up. I'm a certified nutritionist myself, but you don't have to trust me. I'm just saying you can look it up and find out that we don't need. So if we don't need to do any of this, and this is so cruel, don't you think we can make better choices?
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to ask people to do, to make better choices. Because if we were in those positions where somebody, because they have power over us, they do all this to us, without us having any way of fighting back, I would think it's wrong. And I would fight for your rights also if you were in that
Okay,
position.
let me ask you a question though. You're vegan, right?
Yeah,
So you only eat fruits and vegetables.
and plant-based products.
Other
Well, how do you think
protein
those fruits and
sources.
vegetables are made though?
You mean like they're
In the
grown
fields,
in crops?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when they go through the fields and they plow the fields and they kill all the foxes, all the gophers, all the mice,
That's very
all
bad.
the...
That's very bad.
That's
Yeah.
not what are you going to eat?
But,
Am I-
but
am I
exactly,
true,
what are
though?
you gonna eat? You
They're
gotta
gonna
eat
kill
something, right?
all these animals, these smaller animals,
No, there's
to
a-
produce the fruits and vegetables.
So
that,
what
that
you're
you
what,
eat.
what you're saying right here is called the crop deaths argument. It's saying you shouldn't be vegan because of the crop deaths.
Well,
but
no,
let me
I'm
let
not
me
just
let me
saying that, but there's two. There's
sure.
two
Let me
sides
explain
of
this.
it, you
Let me
know?
explain
There's
to you
two
because
sides to it.
this isn't a you either kill this one animal or these other animals in the crops. But the reality is that most of the crops that we grow for food are grown to feed the animals. A lot of the times we forget that
That's
a cow,
true.
a chicken, and a pig, we have to feed them.
Yes,
So we grow a
yes.
lot of food to feed them. So every
grow a lot
death
of
that
corn
happens
to
in the
feed the-
crops is multiplied when we consider animal agriculture because we have to grow more for them.
But you're also still killing to grow these crops.
But it's not
you know?
about being perfect, of course, right?
I know,
like
I know,
like
I get it, I
imagine
understand it.
imagine saying that I want to kill humans because humans die in car accidents, or because humans die because we want to protect something, right? We kill those animals not because we want to, but to protect our land or incidentally. It's not an intentional killing, whereas these animals are intentionally killed for our food, and we don't need to do any of it. I agree with you. It should be better. We have, like personally, I have solutions for that, but sadly, we can't reach a place where we tackle those deaths until we tackle how we treat animals. Because
they-
if we see animals as
They
objects,
could grow everything indoors,
Hydroponic.
but then they still have to get the
That's
soil
one of the
somewhere. They
solutions.
still have to get the soil somewhere, and when you get the soil
I
somewhere, you're gonna be
agree, and I
killing
really
bugs and-
try to eat less meat than
you know.
I ever did before, but you know.
There's
let
a
me
lot
just
of
give you a
different,
card before you go. Let me
Yeah,
just give you a
I
card.
want to see your
I gotta
website
go.
or your.
Sure. So I just say scan this QR code and watch Dominion or the most important speech you'll ever hear.
What
Just to
is
learn
your-
about
what is
animal
your,
agriculture.
What's
That's
your,
it.
What's your YouTube?
You have my YouTube here. It's called That Chip Guy.
that chip guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't scan those, but.
We gotta
Scan
go.
that.
My
Scan
friends are
scan and
waiting.
watch
Yeah,
one
we
of
have
those
friends,
videos.
so,
Okay.
hey,
Not
nice-
now. Not
nice
now.
meeting you.
Not now. But
So
what?
you only eat.
I respect
eat-
animals.
you're
I don't
vegan.
eat them. Yeah. I don't
How do
eat
you
them.
how do you stay so fit?
How do I stay so fit? I go to the gym every day almost, and
yeah, but as far as your protein intake,
well, I have like everybody else a protein shake after the gym, and then
which
I
is all vegan.
yeah,
Plant-based?
because there is plenty of it nowadays. And then I just have normal dishes, sometimes with tofu, sometimes with tempeh, sometimes with plant-based meats.
Okay.
But most of the times, because I'm poor, I have it with tofu and tempeh. So yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the chat, man.
Thanks. Watch one of those videos, okay?
I will.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too. Hey, you
What
want to have
is
a
this
conversation
about?
with me? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Okay.
Please stand over here. What's your
Yeah.
name?
Francisco,
Francisco. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah.
What rights do you think they deserve?
To live freely.
To live freely. Okay. Do you
Yeah.
think all animals deserve that right?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think the animals in animal agriculture should have that right?
Yes.
Do you think they do have that right?
Sometimes they don't, but I also believe like in natural selection. So like I'm not.
What
I
is
don't-
natural selection to you? Because I know what
Yeah.
it is, but that has nothing to do with this. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. So basically, like what I believe in is the food chain more than anything, right? So
What
like,
is the food chain?
So basically, the animals that are stronger eat the animals that are weaker or smaller.
What do you think the food chain is?
I
mean,
think
that's a description of animals in the food chain. But what's the purpose of the food chain?
So I believe the purpose of the food chain is survival and adaptation and
No,
just
the
to,
concept of the food chain. We created that concept. Why do you
Yes.
think we created that concept?
to understand how animals and humans eat.
No, so we created that food chain to understand how energy flows in an ecosystem. So the food chain, you will see it that it's most of the time drawn like a pyramid. because the most energy is at the bottom. Plants get the most energy from the sun. Then the animals who are at the next level and eat the plants, they get less energy. But then the animals who eat those get even less, and so on. The higher you go, the more energy loss. So food
Okay.
chain is a measurement of energy. It's not a measurement of power. But let's imagine that you do think it's a measurement of power. Do you think that because we have power over them, that means it's okay to do whatever we want to them?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think so. Yeah.
So then bringing them to life only to use them and kill them surely should not be one of the things that we do to them.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Do you think that do you think there is any form of animal agriculture where they don't bring animals to life, use them and kill them?
Probably pet, like.
Yeah. So sometimes pets are also
Breeding,
the same, but they're not killed.
But yeah, I don't agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so if your values say that it is wrong to do this to animals, don't you think your actions should say the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you call a person whose values are that we shouldn't be doing this to animals and they follow through with their actions for this also?
I mean, it's kind of a hypocrite. Yeah.
The person who doesn't. But
Yeah.
the person
exactly.
who does.
Oh, the
what
person
would
who
you call-
does. Well, they're doing some good for society, but what I believe should be is rather than creating like these farms for animals, animals should be more in nature and live more naturally in their living space. But I do believe that, like, are you a vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so-
what the person who says it's wrong to bring animals to life to kill them and doesn't support it is as a vegan.
Yeah,
That's
like
by definition.
I don't think there's anything wrong with like killing animals if you're gonna eat them and you're gonna get the nutrients from them.
But what if
if
you
it's
found that-
bringing them to life just to kill them? I don't agree with that. I think it could be done in a better way.
But what if you were to find out that it is all optional to us? That we don't need to do this? That we
Yeah.
can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet? Would it be okay for them to bring them to life and kill them?
No, it wouldn't. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Would it be okay then to kill the wild animals for that?
The wild animals that are not created in farms.
Yeah.
I think it's a really difficult moral question. But I do like meat, man. Like I do like meat.
I know, but
man.
you gotta detach yourself a little bit from this because I understand the benefit that you get and what you like.
Yeah, of course.
It's just that if you think from their perspective, I think their life is worth a lot to them.
Of course.
Imagine how much your life is worth to you.
Yes,
And
yes.
imagine how much a sandwich is worth to you, right? Or you eating
course.
meat.
Yes,
So
yes.
imagine balancing that, how much that meal meant to you versus how much your life means to you. Because that's exactly as much as their life means to them, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you were to put that into balance, which one do you think is more important?
The life, of course.
The life, exactly.
And most people would tell you like, well, how do you get your protein? And I can see that you
Yeah,
can
I get
definitely,
protein.
you definitely
You're
do
also
get
big,
it.
I did.
Yeah,
How
I
old are
do
you, by
like
the way?
training.
How old are you?
17.
Dude, you look very good for a 17.
Yeah, thanks,
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely get protein. You can get everything you want on a plant-based diet, right?
Of course.
And the only thing is you no longer exploit and slaughter animals. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah. There should be more marketing on plant-based protein options, like vegan protein and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It should be more marketed.
There should. So I'll ask you one last question and then let you go. How many more animals should be exploited and slaughtered for you until you make a change?
None. I don't think any more animals should.
Should. That means going vegan, man.
Of course.
Let me give you a card. I just want you to get a little bit informed about all of this. So scan this QR code.
All right.
No, I'll give you the card. You
Okay,
can scan it
okay.
later. Watch the minion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. Okay?
Okay.
Just these two.
So you are this guy.
I'm this guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So watch one of these two, and if you decide that you don't want to be part of it, there's a thing there called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day, and help you adopt a plant-based diet for free.
Okay.
With as much protein and everything that
For
you need.
free?
For free.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
You have everything that you need there, okay? But just please, first of all, watch this so
Yeah,
that you know
of
what you're
course.
supporting,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
I appreciate you.
Awesome. No, thank you.
What was your name again?
Francisco.
Francisco, you're
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Thank you.
17,
How about you?
17, I'm 38, I'm Chip. And you're smarter than most adults I speak to, believe it or not. So that's
All right.
awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do the right
Love
thing,
what
okay?
you're doing.
Same.
You're standing for a good thing.
Cheers, man.
All right. See you.
You guys want to have a conversation with me? Hi. I suppose you have heard what I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about animal rights. Do animals deserve rights?
Okay.
I think they do.
They do.
Yeah.
What rights do they deserve?
I mean, I don't know much about it, but I think they have a right to have a honorable life, like a good life, and to not be how do you say, like they hit them or they live, they don't have food or water. Like they should have
More healthy.
a dignity.
Yeah, they should have dignity. Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I like that. Do you think that animals have dignity when we bring them to life only to kill them for something that we don't need?
I think that the animals have a dignity, but like said Peter Singer, the animals must have a respect of no hurt him, but we can eat animals, but not hit him and try to
But wait a
make
minute.
the
What's the difference? So what you're saying? Because let me ask you this: do you think is kicking a dog worse than me slashing the throat?
what?
What is worse, me kicking a dog or me cutting their throat, cutting the throat of a dog?
Well, I think you. Well, I mean.
What would
saying
you
it-
rather have happen to you? Let me ask you this: what would you rather have happen to you? Would you rather somebody punched you, or would you rather somebody cut your throat?
Well, I would prefer none of both. But
None of those, of course. Yeah.
I guess someone to punch me, but
So you see,
I think
why
they
would we
are-
want? Why would we think that then? Obviously, the worst thing is us cutting their throat. Obviously, the worst thing is us treating them like objects. So why would it matter if we beat them or not? If at the end of the day we take their life, right? Like we
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that.
well, but at least if you are going to take their life, because at the end of the day, people want to eat meat, and people.
But if I want to punch people, does that matter? If I want to cut the throats of people, does it matter what I want, or does it matter what the victims want also?
Yeah, but people are still going to eat meat, so it's better.
Other people.
Other people.
Sure, but I can choose myself to not be part of it because
Yeah,
if
of course,
I find
of
that
course.
it is wrong.
You
Do you find that that doing this to animals, bringing them to life, using them as an object, and then discarding them and killing them, and then using them also as not them by the way, using their body, and then when you can no longer use their body, killing them and eating their body. Do you think
But
that's
it's
okay?
it's the laws of the nature. The other animals eat another animals, and we have
Should we take our morals from what other animals do?
yes.
So if other animals rape other animals, we should rape too?
Yes. But
Yes.
Well, I don't say it like that. We are obviously more advanced, but eating, I don't, as you said, shouldn't take their morals, but
So then it doesn't matter what animals do because we anyway don't behave like other animals, do we? We look at these. Do you think that there's any animals who go on bikes? Do you think there's any animals who build buildings like this? No, we do it. And we do it because that's how our society is built around us, right? We created the rules and all of this. So why would we say all of a sudden that I want to pick and choose this thing that animals do and I want to do it too? We know it's wrong. Would you do it to a dog? Would you pay for dog meat knowing that you don't need to?
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I know some people do dog meat.
In the world, you mean?
Yeah, in the world.
Yeah, that's okay because they were just like you. They were
Yeah.
taught that it's okay to do it. You were
Yeah.
taught that it's okay to do to these other animals. So as you see it, if you look at these people from the outside and you say, "What the fuck are they doing? How do they think this is right?" The same I look at you right now is
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing? How do you think this is right? Because you were taught. Well, I was taught the same thing, by the way. But
Yeah.
I just realized that it is wrong and I chose to not participate in it. But just like that, just like you look at these people, you can imagine it's the same thing for you. You were just taught that it's okay to do this to the animal. But is it really okay to do it to these animals?
Yeah, I see your point, and I see why you think it's not good to do it. But it's like the previous one said, people really like meat, and at the end of the day, a lot of people eat meat, and it's just something you can't take out of their lives. And for me,
No, but you can. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take
Yeah.
to take it out of anybody's life. But you can make the choice to no longer pay for this, to no longer pay for violence towards animals, to no longer pay for animals to have their throats cut, for animals to be enslaved. Why would you want to continue paying for that? Doesn't matter what others are doing. Why would you want to be part of that?
I guess because of the product.
Because of the product.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate your honesty, by the way. That is true because of the product. But does that justify what they go through? Do you think that the product that you get, something that you even forget about a couple of weeks, is worth removing the whole universe of a sentient being, removing their whole existence? Like imagine your existence. How much is one meal worth out of your existence, is it worth something?
Not a lot, but
Not a lot. So, but your existence means to you just as much as their existence means to them. It's everything to them. It's everything. Your existence is everything to you. So you take this one unimportant thing out of your existence and you balance it against the whole existence of them. I don't think that's fair, is it? Knowing that you don't need to and you have other choices makes it incredibly unfair.
Yeah, I guess it does, but I don't know what to say.
That's okay. You don't have to say anything. Listen, I just want to educate people and get them to think a little bit about this whole thing because it's pretty sad. And I know that we live in a society that normalized doing this, but not long ago we lived in a society that normalized slavery. Not long ago we lived in a society that normalized women not having rights. We normalized a lot of awful things in our society. It's just that we need to evolve past this. We need to get better at it. So, unfortunately, this movement itself for the animal rights is one like no other because 97% of people support the idea of killing animals for food. So I need more people to be on this other side to stop supporting this because it is violent towards animals. So how about we do this? I give you cards, you look at a little bit of what animal agriculture does, and then you decide for yourselves if you want to be part of this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, it is.
I appreciate that. Okay. So I'll give you 2 cards. If you scan this QR code, there's a thing there called Dominion, or the most important speech you'll ever hear. They both appear on top. You promise me you'll watch one of these 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Just to know what animals go through. That's
Thank
it, okay?
you.
Thank
You
you
have
very
my
much.
social media there and everything, okay?
Very interesting.
Cheers. Have a good one, guys. Okay, everybody, that's it. That's it. I gotta go now. That's it. I gotta finish this. No, it's on YouTube. Okay, let's scroll down. Okay, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for everybody who donated. Yeah, it's there's been some good conversations. Huh? I really liked the guy before these 2. I didn't feel like it was going anywhere with these 2 people, and I really didn't want to. I felt like they would have just come up with more excuses. I think culturally they don't want confrontation. I feel like that's a thing. There's people who culturally stay away from confrontation. But I think that if that weren't the case, they would have been more combative a bit. So that's why I didn't want to push them. That's why I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. I just thought, you know what, maybe if they get educated, maybe if they look into it, all I can get from them is a seed planted anyway. But the guy before that, my God, 17 years old, he was smart, he was understanding, he didn't come up with excuses, he didn't think, oh, what about this or that. I really like people like that. I just never know. I didn't think that he was obviously a well-built guy. He looked good, and I just didn't know what to expect out of it. But it's always good to see. Shout out, by the way, to Tone for being the first to comment on that last video. For everybody who doesn't know, we have a little contest here in our community where we give a shout out to the first person who comments on the streams. In this case, it was Tone. Thank you for that, Tone. I know I should have said who was the second and third also, but it's just been a busy day and I didn't really look. I'm sorry, but yeah. If you've enjoying these streams, if you've enjoyed this stream, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. I do this almost daily well, not daily, I'm a bit sparingly, I'm trying to make a schedule out of it, but I will go, we'll be back tomorrow. I will be back live. Tomorrow will be really hot. It will be even hotter than today and really sunny. So I'll think of a location where we can either sit in the shade, or maybe we'll do it in the evening. We'll see which one is better. Chip, when are you going to get that severe under crossbite fixed? I don't know what you mean. Whatever. If you're not vegan, there's a 3-minute video in the description of this stream. Renee again, also donate to him. Thank you, Renee. He hates it. Is that a thing? Is that what we're doing now? We're donating to Chip to hate because he hates it. No, I appreciate you, Renee. I do really appreciate it. I just want to be sure that, I don't mind donations. I just want to be sure that whoever donates doesn't you know, keep the money for yourself if you need it. Like only if you have extra money or something, and please donate to smaller creators. They're more important right now. We need them to grow. We need more of this movement to grow. It's you know, I will continue doing this regardless if you donate or not, okay? I think the smaller creators, they have much bigger hurdles than I do, okay? That's it. That's the only thing. Hey Keisha, nice to see you here. I hope you earmarked the donation for chips use. um, for all you non-vegans, I know it's tempting to try and find excuses. I know it's tempting to want to find fallacies and faults in our reasoning. Trust me, there are none. And if you want to actually, if I want, I can simplify it to you as easy as possible. If you don't need to consume animal products for your health or your budget, then consuming animal products is wrong because there is exploitation, abuse, and slaughter behind those animal products. So let's just stop. That's it. That's what veganism is. It's as simple as that. There's no fallacy here. There's no, what do you mean you should that? Of course you can try to find exceptions. Of course you can say, well, say that to those people who live somewhere there in the extreme portions of the world. But that's not where you're at, most likely. Most likely you have access to a supermarket. Most likely you can stop supporting this. And even if you think that, well, that's not what I pay for, I go to the local farm or something. Brother, those farmers will tell you whatever it is that you want to hear. They'll tell you, yeah, I look after those animals. If you tell them that you will only pay if animals have a pillow, they'll tell you that an animal have a pillow. You really don't care. They'll lie. And I don't think that necessarily they'll lie to you. I think they lie to themselves also. I think these farmers, they lie to themselves all the time. I don't think it's easy to do this to animals. I think it's a hard time that they're having, and I think they're lying to themselves and to you. Don't support any of it. Nobody gains from this. That's the reality. Only corporations win from this. Only the big corporations. Only they make a lot of money from this. So don't be that person paying for those corporations. Just think a little bit for yourself. And don't be violent. Be ahead of your time. Don't you want to be ahead of your time? Isn't that what we all want? Don't we all want to be like ahead with our thinking, ahead with our logical thinking and everything? That would imply being vegan. You know, I wholeheartedly believe that in the future, I don't know how near the future, because, you know, we constantly get stopped in our tracks. We as humanity gets constantly stopped in our tracks because of fucking politics and the ambition of stupid fucking small pricks in this world. I'm sorry, I get heated up when it comes to politics. But, you know, it will end. Animal agriculture will end. Animals will have rights. And humans will look back on this period and they'll be like, what the fuck were they thinking? Just like we look back on those periods, those dark age periods, the periods when we stoned women for being smart, those periods when we enslaved other races. We look back at them and we're like, what the fuck were we doing? It's exactly the same. It's the same, just a different species. But it's just as oppressive, as exploitative, and as bad as all the rest. Rise up. Don't be that person. Don't just support it because somebody told you, okay? Think a little bit for yourself. That's it, everybody. We're trying to get people to think. I appreciate everybody for being here. I see it's already 3:15. Have an awesome day. Live vegan. Speak up for animals. And what was it that I wanted to say always? I said that I want to keep saying this. Know that you matter. I really like this one. Know that you matter. Know that what you want matters. It's just, you might not want the exploitation, abuse, slaughter, and violence of all these innocent sentient beings, okay? Know that you matter, okay? I appreciate you for being here. Continue coming, even if you're not convinced. Continue coming, continue listening. You never know. Maybe at some point it will click. And if it doesn't, that's okay. At least you're enjoying the conversations or something. Have an awesome day, everybody. See you in the next one. Stay nice. Yeah, I think I should have ended on that one, but I didn't. So now it's just like, oh, what's going on here? Have an awesome